Boom. Hey, folks, how's everyone doing? I could use a little more light. There we go. So today was an interesting day. Today had some some moments. So, yeah, one of the moments was one where the prosecution got up to some things that I don't think that they should have gotten up to. I think that they managed to pull a fast one. And I suspect that the defense let them do it either because they failed to object. Well, they seemed to have objected to it, but I don't think they objected to it right. I think that they needed to do a little bit. I suspect I want to see this sidebar later because yeah, there's a sidebar and then the prosecution is allowed to get away with some shit that I was like, oh wow, that is fucked. So yeah, we also get a lot of recordings from Kouri, so that's a whole fun thing here. The defense also actually wins an objection, which is really really weird. Now, I am not going to be standing up for this stream because I am, in recognition of Eric Richins, I'm not wearing any pants because that's apparently how we do things when you're celebrating life. That's another thing. I'm kidding. I am actually wearing pants. I got to see, that's my knee. I am now. I got to confirm that I'm wearing pants. But the joke is that there's a moment where they're like, we were celebrating Eric Richins' life, so they took a picture of me with no pants on. And I'm like, how did they get a picture of you with no pants on? Everything about this case continues to be weird, and it's gonna just keep on being weird. And yeah, so let's, I guess, dive right in. I've got a goal. It's just a silly goal, so we'll just we'll see how that goes. But people like the goals sometimes, so I set a goal for let's get ready to runkle. And yeah, let's have a look at what's going on. Oh shoot, where's the meet? Lise, it's going to be either at the Sandman Hotel or near the Sandman Hotel in Montreal. So it's either like the Sandman Hotel bar. The only reason I'm not 100% is that A, I haven't been able to get through to them to confirm that they're fine with a whole bunch of people. And B, they close at 10:30. So, I mean, sometimes, I'm old, but I can still stay up later than 10:30. So I'm looking into another bar that's nearby, but I'm probably going to be staying at the Sandman Hotel. That's the plan. And yeah, the other bar that is right nearby is like 5 minutes walk, and it's open till like 2. So I'm looking at that one as well. I'm just trying to figure it out. I'm still bad at planning, but yeah. So that's, if you aim to be in the Sandman Hotel vicinity in Montreal, you will be in the right space. So, all right, let's have a watch here. Let's see what goes down today. We are going to make sure that our volume is nice and high because we like to hear the court, and sometimes the court is inaudible. Yeah. Sandman Hotel is in Longueuil. I don't know how I'm supposed to pronounce that. Yes, at the subway station. Yep. So, yeah, I still have to rent a car. That's another thing. Maybe I'll end up doing it during the stream. Planning. Yeah. Planning. All right. Let's close all that down. There we go. Embiggen, which is the word of the day. And Then we'll do that. There we are. And yes, I suck at planning. Okay, I had the right pronunciation. That is a minor miracle. Don't mind this. This is on the recording I'm using, so yeah. There's another bar that's right nearby that is that's open until 2. I may jump to that. So I may see about moving us to that one, but it's like 5 minutes from the hotel. So yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Bloodworth is a law nerd. I use him Biggin too, but yeah, it seems likely he's watching EDB. I would actually not be terribly surprised if we see the defense make some sort of stupid objection, and the stupid objection being Bloodworth is playing to the online crowd by using words that are known to the law nerds. And I mean, it would be a stupid objection. It would be idiotic, but it would be on brand.
And Judge, so you know, there have already been some redactions made previous to this discussion for other things that were irrelevant, so those are included already. So you will see some redacted portions of that transcript.
Short period.
All right, so the first thing that happens is there's an objection over this audio recording. And without watching the whole thing, defense actually gets the better of the objection. It's actually kind of weird. And
about the Hebrew,
because most of the time through this, the defense has been getting spanked in their objections. And by spanked, I mean like actually having the judge go, really for some of their things. The judge actually does that to the prosecution this time, and it's something to watch.
Well, actually, I think that would make perfect sense. And when Ms. Sherbanek and I were going through this, I actually had asked for more to be redacted, and I compromised a bit. But now that you've reminded me, yes, I actually think it would make sense to start at page 4, line 1.
Where, out of the gate, Ms. Sherbanek, she describes being annoyed, and we go from there.
I disagree, Your Honor. She's talking about the Heber thing on page 3 at line 5. She says, beat around the bush. Obviously, what I'm thinking about, she's talking about the Heber thing.
The Heber thing is different than Ms. Bramwell and Ms. Miller.
No.
Tell me how.
The Heber thing directly refers to her meeting with Ms. Bramwell in Heber.
Oh, I don't think that's clear from the text of the call. If I was confused about it, I think there's a pretty good chance the jury would be confused about it.
I disagree.
I know, you've been very clear about that.
I disagree, and the judge is like, I know, that's not in dispute, but you're going to have a reason for it. You don't just get to disagree. And I'm just like, oh, zing. Oh, man, that's a hell of a way to start the day.
Anything else?
Just that this is important context for the whole call, and starting it partway through does not give the context that's necessary to understand what starts on page 4 at line 1.
Anything else?
It's relevant, Your Honor.
I understand. Anything else?
No.
Okay.
The judge is like, I understand your point. You made your point. Unless you've got something new, you're losing. And she's like, but I'm going to make the point again. And he's like, No, something new or fuck off. I love the way the judge is just like he is a train who is unwilling to like stop for bullshit that's on the tracks. And if you're sitting there on the tracks with bullshit, it's just, the train's just gonna smash on through.
We're going to start the call at page 4, line 1. Anything else, Ms. Lewis?
No, Your Honor.
The court rules that starting the call at page 4, line 1, and then including the redactions that counsel have agreed to in the body of the call and at the end, provides probative information regarding Ms. Richins' state of mind and backward-looking reflections regarding her consultation with Ms. Bramwell. That probative information, the probative value of that information is not substantially outweighed by the danger of unfair prejudice or any other Rule 403 considerations. With respect to defendant's hearsay objection, Ms. Richins' side of these recorded calls is categorically not hearsay, and the court will instruct the jury that they cannot consider the male voice side of the call for the truth of the matter asserted. Rather, they can only consider the statements made by the male on the call for the effect that they had upon Ms. Richins in the conversation. Any further objection, Ms. Lewis?
No, Your Honor.
In terms of instructing,
I thought that was really well handled. I really like this judge. This judge is just fantastic, right? And there's another, and then after the defense gets their win, the defense does a stupid thing, and here comes the stupid thing. We're gonna watch the stupid thing.
Give the date of the phone call.
Rather, they can only consider the statements made by the male on the call for the effect that they had
I guess we went back to
upon
where
Ms.
I started
Richins in
skipping.
the conversation.
So good for me.
Any further objection, Ms. Lewis?
No, Your Honor.
In terms of instructing or just providing the jury for context,
Margarita.
I'm inclined to tell the jury that Ms. Gibson testified that she preserved some recordings of phone calls involving Ms. Richins. You're about to hear one such phone call. Any objection, Mr. Bloodworth?
No objection, Your Honor. Are we good then to, as we discussed at the bench, have Ms. Shervinack just give the date of the phone call?
No, Your Honor.
It's not in the content, and Ms. Gibson didn't provide that particular piece of foundation. So that would be additive.
So here's the thing. This is a jail phone call. And what the prosecution is suggesting is that they just provide the date of the phone call as like either this witness provides it, which, the witness doesn't actually know it, but, or the judge provides it, or, one of these things. And the defense is like, we object to this. The thing is that the prosecution is going to be able to get that date in, but the thing they're risking is if they allow the playing of the beginning of the phone call where the date is stamped onto the phone call by the recording system, then what they're risking is it being clear to the jury that this is a jailhouse phone call. So I don't know why the defense is fighting this one. This one is like, judge, we really insist that you kick us in the balls here. Like, we're into that. It's bizarre. It's a choice.
Your Honor, if we were to play that portion of the audio of the jail call, it would make it clear that it was a jail call.
Oh, forgive me. I haven't heard or seen the introductory portion of the home wave call. Does it?
Right, Your Honor.
State the date?
Yes, every home wave call begins with a time or date and then, this is a recorded line. Anything you say will be preserved, could be monitored, and admonishments like this.
The initial point is this should have been, and typically would be, introduced through a witness, because the witness could have just said the date and we wouldn't have this problem. I don't think that the state should be testifying to the date.
Right, but if Ms. Gibson had just...
Or do you want them to just play the part that makes it clear it's a jail call?
said, in order to avoid playing any of that for an indisputably authentic call, I will now just list the dates of the calls. Would we be in any different position than we are right now?
Well,
the judge's expression is like, why are you fighting on this point? This is stupid. This is idiotic. What happened to Kouri's first lawyer? Kouri wrote a bunch of stupid shit about her first lawyer, and her first lawyer ended up having to get off the record because basically Kouri can't keep her full mouth shut. Yeah, this is what the defense should be doing. Just we stipulate to the date. But the defense is trying to play a game here where they're hoping the judge is going to keep the whole recording out. And the thing they're risking is the judge just going, I'm just going to let them play the whole recording then. If you object, they could play the whole damn thing. And now you got the date in through the recording. And so, the judge isn't keeping this recording out. So what's your fallback position?
I would stand by my objection that a witness needs to testify to the date of the call, not the court or the state.
Yeah, given here the effort that we're taking to not...
Did you see his expression? His expression was like, okay, all right.
Not put evidence that Ms. Richins was in custody in front of the jury. I think it's in fair and necessary balancing to not play the preamble of the call, which would limit your ability to cross-examine Ms. Gibson as to how she knows when the date of the calls, because it's based on that same content. And so I think it's appropriate and does not violate defendants' rights in any way to just state what is undisputed. December 18, 2023, correct, Mr. Bloodworth?
Oh, that's correct, Your Honor. I also think
okay, it's got to come in through a witness. Cool. All right, we're going to call a witness then. Hi, I am, so-and-so. What is your job? I handle the recordings at whatever federal prison. And, is this a true and accurate recording of a call you made of an inmate at this prison? Yes. Cool. Defense, anything else you really want to have the jury hear today? Okay.
it falls, because of the way the calls are labeled, the date falls under Jeremy Thomas's certification as to the authenticity.
I understand. I think you and I see it the same way. It's just a matter of the defense's good faith objection to me providing the information, but given the alternatives, this is the best way.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
One more
Please.
pragmatic
Yes.
question. Because the court's decision just redacted out the initial part of the demonstrative, it seems to make sense to the state to, at this point in time, as a matter of efficiency, to just
I want to see
the demonstrative. It seems to make sense to the state to, at this point in time, as a matter of
what is that symbol? So it's a pick and something. What is his coffee cup? He's got something on his coffee mug, and I don't know what it is. And I'm super curious because it's not the tea bag. the symbol. I know he's got the tea bag, but what's the, what's that? He's a mountain climber. Okay, that is cool. All right.
Efficiency to
Why doesn't he eat the tea bag? Where's he gonna put it? It's not a mason. It's not a Masonic thing.
All right.
It's not a hammer and sickle. Park City School District.
Please have a seat as you come in.
Nope,
All right,
it's
folks,
not
have a
their
seat.
logo.
Thank you for your patience.
It's not that.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, when Ms. Gibson was testifying, she testified that she downloaded and preserved recordings of certain phone calls involving Kouri Richins. You are about to hear one such phone call from December 18, 2023. You may consider Kouri Richins' statements on this recorded call for any purpose. You may not consider the statements made by the male voice on this phone call for their truth. Instead, the only purpose you can consider the statements made by the male voice on this phone call is for the effect it had upon the listener, that is, Kouri Richins. Scott, let's make sure we are ready to go. Okay. 2-95.
I see somebody saying Utah Avalanche Center. It's not that either. This is not my CC. This is their CC. And it's screwed up. So
5D is admitted. Please proceed.
Obviously.
Who fucking
What
cares?
the heck? I know. I'm just like so annoyed by that. Like, I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Obviously, if
And
one
it's
party's
kind of like-
going to do it, the other party's probably going to do it to see what the fuck.
Right? And it's like,
Like, common sense.
regarding your side of stuff, nothing came out of that. What came out of the other side?
Exactly.
Oh, illegal transfer of everything.
Yes,
Like,
exactly.
A lot came out of that.
Yes, I just
So it's pretty clear what she's talking about, right? It's pretty clear that what she's talking about here is that she went to see a divorce lawyer, and that it's like, well, she went to see a divorce lawyer after he went to see a divorce lawyer, so that's what they're getting in here. That's the thing.
went in for a consultation. That was it.
Yep.
So why is that so bad? Am I misunderstanding something?
No, it's just something they're going to try to probably try to hold against you, for no fucking reason. Because
He did it first.
guess what? Yeah, he did it first. And not only did he do it first, like, he actually took action on it illegally.
Yes. All I did was, what the hell am I supposed to do? That was literally the conversation.
Yeah. Yep. So,
It's my right to
that
do.
person's probably going to be right.
And
So that person's probably going to be brought in,
which is perfect, because you know what I told that person?
which is
I don't want to fill out the packet. I don't want absolutely anything. I want to walk away clean and free. I don't want anything. And she kept advising me, no, that's not how this works. You have to fill this out about that.
Oh my God, why are you telling this dude? I don't know who this dude is, but why are you telling this dude about what your lawyer is telling you on a jail call? Like, why? This is her brother? Okay. Doesn't matter who dude is really, but like, don't talk about what your lawyer told you. Just don't.
And I said, I don't want to. I don't want any of it.
Yep.
That is what I told that lady. I said, I just want these done. And
Yeah,
she argued with me forever. I took the packet, I threw it away. I'm like, no, I won't fill this out because I don't want to have everything.
I mean, right. So that's perfect and works in favor for you for everything.
Yep.
Nothing,
Yeah,
you know?
I was like so fucking annoyed by it though. Like, quit portraying me to be this person.
Yeah.
Anything you're trying to say I did, Eric did. Like, so now they cancel each other out, you fucking idiots. Like,
Yeah.
protecting myself, like.
Yeah, I wouldn't get I wouldn't get too worked up about it.
Yeah, I'm not, but that just gave me an idea. I am going to ask if she can testify.
Well, that's not really going to matter because she just gets subpoenaed. And to be honest, if their attorneys don't do it, yeah, you're going to.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm just annoyed. So I told Mom, I said,
Because they're going to try to paint this picture. So you're going to try to paint this picture and like, oh no.
yeah.
No, here she is. What she asked about? What you advise her? What she say no to?
So yeah, I don't know.
It's not like.
I mean, her conversations with her lawyer would be privileged if she isn't putting them on a freaking recorded call. You know, they're just going to be like, hey, right, you can't talk about any of this. Yeah, okay.
They found out about it, but guess what? You know, so did he.
Exactly.
So it's everybody's natural reaction to wanting to defend themselves.
Counsel, the state's next witness, please.
Becky Lloyd. What
Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in the matter before the court to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, subject to pains and penalties of perjury? Thank you so much.
Good morning.
Good morning.
If you could state your name, please, and spell your last name.
My name is Becky Lloyd, Lloyd.
Where do you work?
I work for C&E Stonemasonry.
And how long have you worked there?
I've worked there 5 years.
What is your current role with C&E?
I'm currently their estimator.
What's that mean?
It means C&E Stone, we put stone on houses, and my job is to figure out how much we need on those houses.
What was your job back with C&E when you first started with them?
I got hired originally as an admin.
And when was that?
That was in
I also give them some props for, they have somebody who starts as an admin and they actually let them move up to bigger and better roles. So, nice.
February of 21.
Did you know Eric Richins?
I did.
How long did you know him for?
I met him sometime around 2017.
Okay. And what about Kouri Richins? Do you know her?
I do.
And did you meet her
Same time.
around the same time?
Yeah.
In 2021, what was the nature of your relationship with Kouri Richins?
I knew her as a neighbor. I knew her as the mother to my children's friends and as my own friend.
I want to turn your attention to December of 2021. Was there a conversation that you had with Kouri Richins in December of 2021 that stood out to you?
Yes.
What was the date of that conversation?
December 17th of 2021.
That's a specific date. Why do you remember that date?
Because I keep a journal and I have photos from that date.
What were you doing that day?
We were doing a Secret Santa gift wrap for C&E Stone. We get presents for families in the neighborhood that don't get a good Christmas, and we were wrapping them to give away.
Now, when you say we, was that who's the we?
Me and Kouri.
Okay, just the two of you then?
Just the two of us while we were wrapping, yeah.
All right. Hopefully people can see me again. My entire
I met
my browser crashed, so
stone on houses, and my job is to figure out how much we need on those houses.
What was your job back with C&E when you first started with them?
I got hired originally as an admin.
And when was that?
That was in February of 21.
Did you know Eric Richins?
I did.
How long did you know?
all right. Hopefully we are back in business. Yeah, my browser crashed and I was like, what the hell? Yeah, that sucked.
Him for?
I met him sometime around 2017.
Okay. And what about Kouri Richins? Do you know her?
I do.
And did you meet her
time.
around the same time?
Yeah.
In 2021, what was the nature of your relationship with Kouri Richins?
I knew her as a neighbor. I knew her as the mother to my children's friends, and I knew her as my own friend.
I want to turn your attention to December of 2021. Was there a conversation that you had with Kouri Richins in December of 2021 that stood out to you?
Yes.
What was the date of that conversation?
December 17th of 2021.
That's a specific date. Why do you remember that date?
Because I keep a journal and I have photos from that date.
What were you doing that day?
We were doing a Secret Santa gift wrap for C&E Stone. We get presents for families in the neighborhood that don't get a good Christmas, and we were wrapping them to give away.
Now, when you say we,
I mean, that's a really nice thing they were doing. I approve of that, right? So, yeah.
was that, who's the we?
Me and Kouri.
Okay, just the two of you then?
Just the two of us while we were wrapping, yeah.
Was there a topic of conversation that came up related to Kouri Richins' marriage?
Yes.
How did that come up?
I had recently gotten divorced a couple months before, 3 months before, and she was asking me how that was going, and I was asking her about how her marriage was going, and her and Eric had a fight that day, so it was definitely on the top of her mind.
What did Kouri say to you?
Kouri had an opportunity to go to a work event of some sort, like a Christmas gala, something like that. And it was going to be a really good opportunity for her career. She was excited about it. At the same time, Eric had booked a sleigh ride with the family for Christmas, a good family activity, and they had a scheduling conflict, and they did not agree about what they should do for that scheduling conflict.
What else did Kouri say during that conversation about her marriage with Eric?
This is where I mean, on this one, I'm kind of like hashtag Team Kouri on this specific issue. Like this specific particular thing of she has this work gala and he scheduled a sleigh ride. I'm like, let her do the work gala, right? Wait, what? Oh, wow. Kouri Richins is at Purgatory Women's Jail. Who the fuck named that? They do not fuck around. Whoever names that is like, wow. That goes hard.
She talked about how she was feeling trapped. She was feeling like there wasn't an easy way forward out of the marriage. She felt like she was worried about her kids. She was worried that she was going to lose them and that Eric was going to take the kids from her and that his family was going to turn the community against her. And she said that in many ways it would be better if he were dead.
So turn the community against her is, I mean, arguably that's happened. Although arguably the community has some good freaking reasons for it. But it would be better if he were dead. This one, I mean, it's gonna land with the jury. But have you ever talked to somebody who is dealing with a breakup? Have you ever talked to somebody who's like going through like a messy divorce, messy breakup, messy whatever? They say some shit, right? And I don't know how much to put on this one because, you know, I've heard people who have no intention of like killing their partners or whatever just be like, you know, man, I hope they get hit by a bus. Anyone remember the Depp trial? Depp said some shit too, right? The difference is that Depp didn't murder Heard. But, like, the stuff people say in divorce and so forth, I don't really put a whole lot on this, but that's just me.
What was the tone of Kouri's voice during that conversation?
It was serious. She definitely had a very serious tone. We weren't really joking. It was a very honest conversation and a very heartfelt conversation. And you could tell from her body language that, you know, she was frustrated and she was struggling with where she was at. Serious tone.
What was your reaction to Kouri saying it would be better if Eric were dead?
To me, it really signified just how far their marriage was off track and how serious the situation was. And I felt bad for both of them. That's a heavy conversation.
I don't have any other questions for you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's watch that at one speed. Kouri's reaction.
Conversation.
I don't have any other questions for you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I kind of feel that one. Kouri having the reaction of like, what the fuck? I don't think Kouri's what the fuck here is unreasonable. Like, this is the are you fucking kidding me expression. And I get it. I kind of found this witness to be a little crap. So I was like, if I was the prosecution, I wouldn't have bothered. Honestly, I just would not have called this witness at all. I think that she kind of weakens the point on that one, and I would not have bothered. Then we get this guy.
Almost 13 years.
And we don't have subtitles. Subtitles have gone away, apparently, so sucks to be us.
You operate it as well.
Yeah. 13 years.
What do you... Good morning, sir.
Hello.
What, sir, is your name?
Gabriel Morin, Morin.
And what do you do for a living?
I own a restaurant over in Camas.
And, sir, is that the Mirror Lake Diner?
Yes, sir.
How long have you owned it?
Almost 13 years.
You operate it as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so this guy is called to testify about a sandwich. And I mean, I've been watching this trial and I may have missed it. So chat, I need you to fill me in. What is the significance about the sandwich?
Page, please. What, sir, is this portion of the document that we're looking at now?
Okay, so this is Megan's checkout. This would be at the end of her shift. And this is like a breakdown of credit cards, whether MasterCard, Discover, cash sales, and that kind of stuff.
And then, Scott, if you can go down to the third document. You embiggen that top part. Thank you. And then...
Did you just catch that? Yeah, that was him saying, can you embiggen? Okay. So, can you embiggen that?
And then, Scott, if you can go down to the third document. Can you embiggen that top part? Thank you. And then, sir, what is...
Yeah, he knows we're watching.
This.
Okay, so this is an audit of that particular order. So you can see the timeline on the left side. So at 8:55, it says a Greek omelet, quinoa salad, bagel sandwich with hash browns, and then Kouri is typed in. So at 8:55, an order was placed. At 9:07, the food was ready. 9:07, payment was applied. And then at 10:50, adjusted payment. So the server has some leeway as to when they actually adjust their tips. I mean, before they're into their shift, they're going to go through all their sales and adjust tips. Some servers wait. So enough to go.
We don't care about the tips.
I'm Kathy Nestor. I represent Kouri Richins.
Yeah.
All right. So okay. So thank you, chat, for reminding me that she is in fact charged with the Valentine's Day sandwich. I can tell you, if I was on the jury, I would be very strongly leaning towards convicting her of the murder. I would acquit her in a heartbeat on the attempted murder. I don't see a lick of evidence on the attempted murder. It's just he had a sandwich and then he had a nap. Like, that's their case on the attempt murder. So, okay. I forgot the whole sandwich thing, but it's like, okay. So I guess what they're saying is this nice man clearly didn't poison him with the sandwich, but who knows if anybody poisoned him with the sandwich, right? So, yeah. He had to use an EpiPen. Would he have used an EpiPen if he didn't think it was an EpiPen won't do shit against fentanyl, or any opiate. So, I think she's guilty as heck on the murder. I am not going to, I don't think the attempt murder makes any sense. So, yeah.
So I want to go back to what the Exhibit 8.6 that the state just went over.
Right. We're going to skip past the rest of him because the cross-examination doesn't mean anything. We're going to go to our next witness. Our next witness is interesting. At least I thought the next witness was super interesting.
Thank you. Please have a seat.
Thank you.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
What, sir, is your name?
Joshua Kaze.
Is your last name spelled Kaze?
Yes,
Sir, did you know Eric Richins?
I did.
How?
I met Eric probably in 2014 through some mutual friends.
Yeah, and that doesn't tell us anything. Him thinking that Kouri tried to poison him at that time isn't really actually evidence that she did. It's just thought of that, and that is hearsay. But let's talk about hearsay with this witness, because there's some real shit that happens on that.
Hung out with him a couple times, and then started working in Park City in 2016 for a builder, and Eric Richins was a subcontractor that I worked with quite a bit from 2016 on.
Aside from a business professional relationship, did you have a personal relationship with Eric?
Yeah, so after I started working in Park City, him and I became friends pretty quickly. I played on some of his recreational sports teams. We both liked camping and hunting, so we kind of hit it off on that front. And I think starting 2017, we started hunting together quite a bit each fall.
And would you take trips together to hunt?
Yeah, I think we went to Idaho on some trips 2 or 3 times. Went to Colorado on a trip once, and then a number of times here in Utah.
Are those hunting trips, pack hunting trips, where you pack in, hunt, pack out?
Mixture of both. We'd, hike in a lot.
Okay, so they go on, they do a whole lot of really sort of arduous hikes. And then we get to here-ish.
Response.
What questions did you ask Eric?
Can we approach?
Okay, so this, I'm going to back up a little further so we can get some better context here. This is the prosecution engaging in some fuckery.
It was just very outside the norm.
Had you ever heard Eric sound like that before?
No.
Based on what Eric said to you, and without saying anything that Eric said, did you offer Eric any advice?
I don't know that I would say advice other than maybe like questions, like suggestions and questions was my response.
What questions did you ask Eric?
Can we approach?
Okay, what questions did you ask Eric? Objection, judge, can we approach? And so then the defense goes up. And the thing is that this is, so what the prosecution is doing, the prosecution is basically trying to get in his half of this conversation. The thing is that the only reason they're getting his half of the conversation in is to sneak in by inference what Eric Richins said. And what Eric Richins said cannot be used for the proof of the truth of its contents because it's hearsay. And so they're really trying to sneak it in by having him sort of, provide that. The thing is that if Eric Richins's, statements are out, this sneaky way to get around it should not be allowed in either, because it's either irrelevant or it's the hearsay, right? So the defense argues this, and the defense manages to lose this issue. And yeah, but he's dead. Sometimes you can get in dying declarations or so forth, but you can't get in like everything. Can someone remind me the definition of hearsay? So hearsay is an out-of-court statement that is tendered for the proof of the truth of its contents. And so what I mean by the proof of the truth of its contents is that the statement itself is being tendered to prove what the statement says. Now, there's different situations that are not hearsay, notwithstanding the fact that they are statements outside of court. So one example, if you need like a simple test in your head, ask yourself, would it matter if the person saying it is a pathological liar? And so essentially the way this works as a kind of hearsay heuristic, if that makes sense, is that if the person saying it was known to just completely make shit up, right, is a completely pathological liar, cannot be trusted on anything they say, would that actually change would that change the usefulness of this? As an example of that, Bob sent me a letter that said he saw Frank commit the murder, right? Well, if Bob is a pathological liar, then then that letter would be useless, right? Whereas if Bob is super truthful, then that letter is better. So that really helps us understand that letter is itself hearsay. Now let's imagine a very different scenario. Let's imagine that let's imagine that Fred is killed by poisoning, but with a very unusual poison. Fred is killed with tetrodotoxin poisoning, which I'm probably mispronouncing. Now, you can't just get that off off the shelf. It's pufferfish poison, right? So you can't just go and buy a vial of that at the shop. And it's very unusual. So, and let's imagine that the police have not released that the poison was tetrodotoxin, right? They've just said, let's say that they just said Fred was murdered, but they didn't release that it was poisoning, and they didn't release that it was tetrodotoxin, right? And so Bob writes a letter where he says, Bob writes a letter to Frank. And what he says to Frank is, hey, I bet you heard about Fred. You better watch your ass because there's lots of tetrodotoxin to go around, right? That's what Bob says to Frank. So at Bob's trial, where he's accused of murdering Fred, that letter is tendered. And the reason why it's tendered is not for the proof of the truth of its contents. We don't care if Bob is a lying sack of shit. However, what it's tendered for is simply the fact that Bob knew that it was tetrodotoxin because before anybody should have known, right? And so that's not a hearsay statement because the purpose isn't proof of the truth of its contents. It's proof of the fact that Bob made the statement and that statement indicates in and of itself, just because of the statement, that tetrodotoxin was, that he knew that tetrodotoxin was there, right? So this is kind of an important distinction. Now, hearsay isn't necessarily just things you say. In the example I gave, it's a letter. But hearsay can be a nod. Hearsay could be a thumbs up. Hearsay could be, any sort of communicative thing that is tendered for the proof of the truth of its contents. And in this case, what they're doing is they're having this guy here in court, but the purpose of him being there is the purpose is that he is here to tell us what Eric Richins was saying. Because if you remove Eric Richins, like if he's out in the forest and Eric Richins doesn't exist, then what he's saying is meaningless. The only reason his comments matter at all are because they indicate what Eric Richins was telling him. This is a backdoor way to get in the hearsay. It is shady on the part of the prosecution. I don't like it. And quite frankly, if the defense was not able to keep this out, the defense fucked up, because I think that I could have argued this to keep it out. Now, I don't know, but I mean, this judge feels like a very reasonable judge. And so if I went up to this judge and said, listen, Your Honor, the only reason he's testifying to this is to get in by inference Eric Richins' statements for the proof of the truth of its contents. And, so it's either hearsay, or if we assume that they're not going to use it for that purpose, then it's irrelevant, because otherwise, what's the issue there? This is, and think about it this way. If Eric Richins was lying on this occasion, I'm not saying he was, but if he was lying here, then this testimony would be worthless, right? If we knew that this statement was a lie, then this guy's testimony here is worthless. And so this should not have been allowed in. This, I have seen nothing but reasonableness from this judge. And so my inclination is to think that the defense lawyer probably fucked this up. But I don't know. Maybe the defense lawyer did make a good argument. Maybe the defense lawyer argued this excellently and the judge just went the wrong way. But this is not a great moment in this trial. And quite frankly, if I was the prosecutor, I would not have called this evidence, because I would consider this to be dirty pool. And I wouldn't try to get this evidence in. And I don't like this. I don't like this moment. This made me mad when I saw it, and I am still mad about it. You could tell I'm still mad about it, right? I'm still sitting here going, this is wrong. This should not have happened. This is, I don't like that the prosecution is tendering it. I don't like that, I don't I suspect the defense screwed it up in terms of getting it in, or failing to argue it. I think that the judge, yeah. And here's the other problem: is it reversible error? Here's the thing: I suspect that if this goes to appeal on this point, and she's convicted, that a court of appeal will say, yes, we find this is an error. However, notwithstanding that we find it an error, we find it to be harmless error because this is a minor moment in the trial and there's all these other things. But I mean, if you're looking at the conviction specifically, or like a conviction specifically for the attempted murder, I don't know if it is but I think that it would be very difficult to appeal on this issue. This is why it's important to fight like hell the first time, because on appeal, I think they're going to have an uphill battle. But this is I don't like this. I'm upset. And yeah, I know that, I'm kind of rambly here and I'm kind of, whatever, kind of, all over the map on this one, but it does bother me. And yeah, and I know that this also applies to my, my explanation here.
That's too many syllables. Apologize.
But, yeah, I don't know. So they're going back. They're arguing the point. Goal ran out. I'm going to start another goal for Uncle.
Mr. Bloodworth, please proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Case, let me ask you
I haven't figured that out
yes
yet.
or no questions, okay? Based on that conversation, did you ask Eric Richins if he was okay now?
Yes.
Did you ask Eric if he was going to go to the hospital?
Yes.
Did you ask Eric, what are you going to do about it?
Yes.
You see how that worked? Let's listen to those questions again.
Eric, did you ask Eric if he was going to go to the hospital, if he was okay? Based on that conversation, did you ask Eric Richins if he was okay now?
Yes.
Did you ask Eric if he was going to go to the hospital?
Yes.
Did you ask Eric, what are you going to do about it?
Yes.
What can we infer from those questions? What we can infer from those questions is that Eric Richins told him that he was poisoned. And so he says, are you okay now? Are you going to the hospital? What are you going to do about it? The whole point is to get in that Eric Richins communicated to him that Eric Richins thought that that he was poisoned. That's it, right? And yeah. Chat, I'm going to try. Tell me if this messes up or echoes. Let me know if that echoes. I'm just trying to figure out if I can fix that. That echoed?
So that call with Eric Richins.
Okay, one last try. Did that echo or did that play? Did it play? Did that one play? I can't hear it now, but okay, awesome.
Did you speak to anybody else about that call?
Yes.
Who did you speak with?
I talked to my wife that night about it. And then a day or two later, told a mutual friend, actually two different mutual friends of mine and Eric's.
Did there come a time after Eric's death when you spoke about this call with Cody Wright?
Yes.
Did Cody Wright have a similar call with Eric Richins?
Check the hearsay.
Sustained.
All right, so that's really what he's about. Let's go on to the next witness. Now, this witness is kind of heartbreaking. This witness is really kind of heartbreaking.
Chelsea Barney.
Is your last name spelled Barney?
Yes,
Do you know Kouri Richins?
I do.
How do you know her?
We've been friends for about 20 years.
When did you first meet?
Ninth grade, junior high, high school.
And have you stayed friends that whole time?
Yes.
How often do you speak or did you speak with Kouri Richins?
All the time. Sometimes every day, sometimes every other. I mean, all the time.
I'm going to cover the super chats before we get into her. Kimchi, the forensic homeopath. Runkle Stiltskin, thank you so much. Donnie Not Wahlberg, thank you for the gifted membership. Equality says, let's Runkle, thank you. Patricia, thank you so much appreciated. Vez says, and we can keep our pants on at the meetup. Yes. Me says, hey Runkle, had the boyfriend not been good looking, would we find him less believable? This wasn't a super chat, but all of the science says that people do find people to be less believable when they are unattractive. 100% that is a thing. We find attractive people more credible, more believable. It is absolutely, how that goes. Random unbreaded commenter, even a broken clock is right twice a day. True. Unless it's digital. Motion to add judge to a Mount Judgemore monument. Fair. Mary Matilda May, Runkle time. Really good audio tonight. Yes, it seems to be much better. Cosmooks, too. I love that the judge gives it to both sides when they're being silly. It's so great after some trials where the judge is one-sided. Agreed. And Raiderang, thank you so much for signing up. All right. Yeah, let's go here. Oh, well, Kouri is screwed then. She's some kind of homely, lol. Am I crazy that I think Kouri's kind of pretty? I don't find Kouri to be like hideous or whatever. Yeah.
Ninth grade,
And I'm being
junior
told
high,
I
high
got to check
school.
PayPal.
Have you stayed friends that whole time?
Yes.
How often do you speak or did you speak with Kouri Richins?
All the time. Sometimes every day, sometimes every other. I mean, all the time.
How often would you see her?
Couple times a week. When we got busy with kids, sometimes once a month. It just kind of depends on schedule at that time.
Would you travel together?
Yeah, I traveled sometimes with her. Yeah.
Did you consider her your best friend?
Yeah.
And I see HB says, appreciate your perspective, enjoy your drink. Thank you so much. All right.
Are you familiar with the fact that the defendant obtained a $250,000 home equity line of credit on the home that she lived in?
Yes.
When did you learn of that?
We were on a vacation to Sun Valley, and she had told me about it.
Who were you on that vacation with?
Some of our other friends.
Was that vacation in October of 2020?
Yes.
Maybe the first weekend of October of 2020?
Yes.
What, if anything, did the defendant say about that?
She had said that Eric was mad at her and had turned off her credit cards because he found out she took a loan out on the house. and asked if we could pay for the trip, and she would reimburse us when she could.
Did Kouri Richins say what she did with that $250,000?
She used it to buy a house to flip and sell.
Scott, can we get 2-2D, please? Man, Scott's going to scroll through it, and I'm going to ask you if you recognize it, okay?
Okay.
Come on. Yeah. All right, so like what the fuck, friend? I'm freaking out. Ha ha. Ha 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 ha! Exclamation mark. You're so funny, friend. Everything's going to be just fine. But if I die, Eric did it. If she had died, this text would be coming in at Eric's trial. So, yeah. Crazy though, right? Exclamation mark, question mark. I don't know what to do. If he thinks I owe him money, then that's fine. I'll pay whatever he thinks, and then I'm out. Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. It's getting a little out of hand. It's getting way out of hand. I don't think you should pay him anything. Let the attorneys decide stuff like that. Because guarantee they will say you don't owe him anything. Or that his payout of the house won't be as big, which is fine. Oh, exactly. They would say he still owes me triple of what he says I owe him just for paying me out of the house. Just kind of feel like an asshole, or maybe I shouldn't. But I feel like it'd be bad karma or something if I didn't. Shit, I don't know. Honestly, what would you do? Just let attorneys handle it? What do you feel like an asshole about? Taking money out of the house? So, I don't know. I find this whole thing is very much weird. Because when somebody starts saying, when somebody starts calling me friend, like, you know, hey, friend, that person, if they've got to say it, means they aren't a friend, right? When somebody says to me, like if somebody comes and is like, hey, friend, usually what they mean, what they're about to say after hey, friend is like, can I have some money? Or, you know, like it kind of feels aggressive. It kind of feels, but I mean, everything about this is weird. It might just be like this social circle is weird. So I see people are saying that they, some people are like, yep, we don't call friends. Some people are like, we do that all the time. So I guess it's a regional thing. Yeah, this is kind of my feeling as well. She gives multi-level marketing vibes in like everything she does. You know, everything is that kind of like multi-level marketing, you know, hustle. And what do you call it? First thing you learn in grad school when becoming a therapist, don't say you can trust me. If you have to say it, you're not. It's also something you learn in criminal law, because I can tell you, if somebody is telling you, you can trust me, don't trust that person, right? Don't. if somebody has to tell you that you can trust them, you can't trust them. Yes, but it's technically my money, so I shouldn't feel bad. But if I just walked away and said good luck, okay. So that's about the that's about that. We're gonna jump ahead to the part that made me real sad. Really sad, because this is her best friend from like forever, right? And
This is the call that was the subject of one of defendant's motions in limine, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So the parties briefed this. We had a hearing about it. I ruled on it. I denied the defendant's motion to exclude this very recording, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Anything further on that?
Just if we could have a continuing objection to its admission.
It's preserved for the record. All right.
thank God, because I think they were watching like on Twitter and so forth and realized that how bad it was looking. But yeah. Yeah.
Mr. Bloodworth, are we ready for the ruling? Ready for the jury. My apologies.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Lewis.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Cody, we're ready for that. Tracy, thank you.
This part, I was like, the whole time I was watching this, I was like, oh my God, don't tell me she did. No. It's like watching the horror movie where you see the, the character who's not going to be the final girl, and they're, they hear a noise at the top of the, or at the bottom of the stairs, and they run up the stairs, and you already know that the killer is hiding up the stairs, and you just know that it's gonna like turn into like, there's gonna be the horrible, gruesome murder, and you're like, don't do it. And then they do it, and you're just like, oh my God. You'll see, but I was just wincing through this. And quite frankly, this is the point where I was just like, wow. Even if she didn't do the murder, Kouri Richins is the kind of person who shouldn't be in society if this is the kind of shit she's pulling, right? This is the kind of thing where I'm just like, this is so fucked up.
Mr. Bloodworth, is your team gathered?
I do like her shirt though. It's a little too colorful for a murder trial, and maybe the wrong color for a murder trial, but yeah. I would have gone with gray or blue, just something light, and you want it to be forgettable, right? You want it to be neutral.
Please have a seat as you come in. Have a seat. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Ms. Barney, you're still under oath.
Okay.
Very good. Mr. Bloodworth, please proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ma'am, were you present at the Richins residence 2 days after Eric's death, on March the 6th, 2022?
Yes, I was.
And did there come a time when Kouri Richins was very upset and you went to console her?
Yes.
Why was she upset?
She got in an argument with her sister-in-law.
And what was the argument over?
She was trying to get into Eric Richins' safe to get the will out.
And did the argument also involve the home?
Yes.
What portion of the argument involved the home?
The sister-in-law had told Kouri that the house was no longer hers and it belonged to the other sister because she was in charge of everything.
How did Kouri Richins react to learning that?
She was very upset.
How upset?
Crying. I mean, pretty upset. Yeah.
Did she collapse?
Yeah.
Was she hysterical?
Yeah.
Did she say why she was so upset?
She just said she couldn't believe this was all happening.
Did she seem surprised to you that the house was no longer under her control?
Yes.
And I'm just going to say, holy shit, the irony that is here. Like, if you put this where Kouri Richins is suddenly shocked to find out that the house she lives in is not her house and she's going to have to move into a movie. Like, if I was reading that script, I'd be like, this is too fucking on the nose. You have to cut this. You know, this is, come on. Because look what's coming.
What, ma'am, do you know about Kouri Richins' business?
Very little. Just that she would buy houses, flip them, and sell them.
Did she present to you as being successful at that?
Yes.
Was she very generous to you?
Yes.
Were you aware that she was in any financial distress?
No.
Ma'am, are you familiar with a house at 299 East, 100 South in Heber?
Yes.
House.
Yeah, this is heartbreaking. I'm sorry. You may check it out, but it is heartbreaking. It is what it is.
I lived there. I bought it from Kouri.
Who lived there with you?
My family, my husband, and 3, and I had another one, so 4 kids.
Ma'am, when you say you bought it from Kouri, what do you mean?
We were in a situation of needing a place to live, and Kouri was buying this house to flip it and sell it, and she offered to sell it to me.
Did you accept that offer?
Yes.
What was the arrangement?
Just, it went back and forth for a year on what would work out, and it came down to I would sign the deed of the house, and the house was mine, and I paid a down payment, and I could do what I wanted because I had the deed to the house, but the loan would be under her name, but I would pay the mortgage payments myself.
So let's start with the down payment. What was your understanding of the down payment?
Just, she told me it was to pay the brokers back that she borrowed money from to get the house.
And how much money was the down payment?
$45,000.
And this whole time I'm like, please tell me no. Please no. Tell me she didn't do it.
What, ma'am, were you doing for a living at that time?
I was a manager up at Soldier Hollow Grill.
And did you work in part for tips?
Yes.
And did you have savings from your tip money to pay the $45,000 down payment?
Yes.
Did that amount to essentially your life savings at that point?
Yes.
Did you wire $45,000 to Kouri Richins in 2 separate wires?
Yes.
And you understood that to be a down payment on the house that you were living in?
Yes.
Did you understand that Kouri was going to put that money
I
towards
did
the
not watch
mortgage
the
that was
pretrial. No.
closing soon after you wired the money?
Yes.
As far as you know at the time, did she put the $45,000 towards the mortgage?
Yes.
What was then your arrangement with her on paying rent or paying the mortgage or paying money?
The loan was just in her name, and I paid the mortgage company directly myself.
Do you remember about what you paid them every month?
$2,900.
Scott, can I get 6-14, please?
Thank you.
Scott, can you scroll down for the for Ms. Barney and counsel? Ma'am, do you recognize that document?
Yes.
Is that a copy of a warranty deed that you signed on this house?
Yes.
Is it an accurate depiction of that warranty deed?
Yes.
Your Honor, the state moves 614 into evidence.
No objection.
614 is admitted.
Your Honor, oh, thank you.
So she signs a thing that would have had her as the sole owner. But
Ms. Barney says up at the top, 290 East, 100 South in Heber. Is that the address that you lived at with your family at the time?
Yes.
And that's you, Chelsea Barney, as the sole owner?
Yes.
Scott, if you could scroll down, please. Scott, if you could scroll down, please. Scott, if you could, go up. If you could just enlarge kind of the middle to the bottom portion. Thank you. Scott, if you could go to the next page, please. And then down to the bottom. Oh, I'm sorry, the bottom page. You could enlarge that, please.
so they got all this signed and, notarized and all of that. There's just one more step
Ma'am, is that your
left
signature at
to
the bottom?
take.
Yes.
One more thing.
When you
that's
signed that
gotta be
document,
done.
what was your understanding?
That the house was mine.
Did you understand that document, upon signing it, that needed to be recorded with Wasatch County?
Yes.
Was that document ever recorded with Wasatch County?
No.
That was signed, I think, on January the 6th, 2023. From that point forward, did you continue to live in the home, pay the mortgage, and have the understanding that it was your home?
Yes.
So Kouri took her life savings, continued to take $2,900 a month for the mortgage, and then didn't register the transfer. So all of this was still in Kouri's name, which means that Kouri took thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars and gave her best friend absolutely fucking nothing. Yeah. And then
Did there come a point when that understanding changed?
Yes.
When was that?
When she got arrested, I was informed that there was a loan taken out on my house that I didn't know about, or I didn't take it
Your
out.
Honor, hearsay.
overruled.
So the question was, did there come a time when she became aware of a certain condition? She's explaining how she became aware of the condition. Doesn't matter if it's true, just matters that she heard it. So this explanation for what she heard can be considered only for an explanation of the effect it had upon her, not for the truth of the matter asserted. Go from there, Mr. Bloodworth.
So did there come a time when your understanding changed?
Yes, I emailed the lady I signed the papers with and asked for copies of the paper, and she told me it was never filed with the county.
Did you continue to live in the house?
I did.
Did that change?
Yes.
When?
September 24, I believe. I was evicted.
You were evicted in September 24?
Mhm.
Why were you evicted?
The new owners kicked me out.
Were there new owners because mortgage was foreclosed on?
No.
Why were there new owners?
I don't know how it all works, but she gave the deed over to someone else and they owned the house.
Was it?
Basically, it sounds like she surrendered the deed because she owed a whole pile of money and just surrendered the deed in satisfaction of the... Can you imagine, like, her perspective? She's sitting there and she is, she's put her life savings down. She's been spending all of the money she gets, right? Because this is a big thing. She's doing this with her best friend, right? Who she trusts absolutely. And she's made a home, right? She's made a home for her and her kids. She's expecting to live there, right? She's put roots down. She's put attachments down, right? All of these things. And then she finds out that her best friend betrayed her by never actually giving her anything for this house. And that her best friend was taking out, money on this house. And that because her best friend screwed her so that she could continue to borrow against this house, she is losing all of that stuff, everything. She's got to go and explain to her kids why they have to move out from the house that they had, that they, were, I'm sure, into probably an apartment, right? So she's got to move, the kids are going to be upset, but she also lived in the house for 2 years free of charge. She lived there paying $2,900 a month. Wasn't free of charge. She's paying the mortgage. She's paying the mortgage. So it wasn't free of charge. She's paying a ton of, ton of money over. I mean, this, I would be so mad. I would be so heartbroken. I would be so, all of these things, right? It's just, and I mean, she's lost her down payment. She's lost her ability to save for more of a down payment. So it's not like she can go and buy another house. She's just fucked. Just super fucked.
A deed in lieu of foreclosure?
Yes.
Who's the she when you just said that?
Kouri.
So it's your understanding then that Kouri Richins gave the deed of the house over to new owners in lieu of foreclosure on the house?
Yes.
Scott, can I get 2-55 Delta, please?
I mean, I was watching this and this was just heartbreaking, right? I was just, I feel so bad for this woman. And, you know, this is like why I could never be like Elon Musk, because if I had Elon Musk's money, I would just be like calling this witness up afterwards and being like, hey, I saw you in court. Can you come to this address? And she'd show up and it'd be like, here's keys. And also here's a deed. This one's actually registered, right? Like I wouldn't be able to have Elon Musk's money because I would spend it on stuff like this. But like, I just, I felt so bad for this woman and, you know, her kids, her family, just absolutely, I couldn't rip off a stranger like this, let alone my best friend. Right? Like just absolutely could not. I saw a question. This one. What legal options does her friend have to be made whole now? There isn't really a legal option to be made whole because she could sue Kouri Richins, but Kouri Richins is $1.5 million in the hole. You might as well like sue a rock. There is literally no money to be gotten out of Kouri Richins. The new owners are not at fault, right? The new owners haven't done anything wrong, and so she can't sue them. The government isn't going to help. So there is nobody that she can go after. Go for the trust. It's not the trust's fault. Trust had nothing to do with this. This is just... This is like not one of those stories where there's a happy ending. This is just, she has been screwed. And, oh yeah, Crime Victims Fund isn't going to cover any of that. Yeah. But Ian, she's worth 11 million. Her or Kouri Richins? Neither of them is worth 11 million, I don't think. God. Would it be improper for the Richins family to help? It's not improper, but I don't think they will. I can't see the Richins family stepping up to be like, we're going to give you $500,000 or whatever for this house. Yes, I see the goal ended, but we're close. And somebody said they're sending. So, yeah. Let's open up a drink here. I have a canned Paloma, which is grapefruit. Also kind of Utah-y, I feel like, in feeling. The other thing I've got is I've got a mule on standby, but yeah. Yeah, the family's not going to step up. Where's the Lucky? I'm out of Lucky, believe it or not. I've had some friends screw me over in the past. It is what it is. Nothing like this, though.
An accurate depiction of January 17, 2022 text exchange between you and Kouri Richins.
Yes. It's not January, though.
Sorry, June 17th, 2022. I'm having trouble.
Yes, it's. I'll correct you, I guess.
Please do. Your Honor, the state moves 2-55D into evidence. Hold off on publishing.
Your Honor, we object. Please approach.
Ugh. Stop zooming in on the family. Ah, come on, YouTubes. There we go. Come on. Why is the YouTube sucking so hard today? Let's back to the testimony.
Because
here we go.
In defendant's view, they would undermine the court's ruling regarding the scope of Cody Wright's likely testimony are as follows. This is details matter here, so if you can write those details down. The green message from Ms. Barney on June 17 at 10:36:04 includes the following sentence. Quote, "Fuck that, you wouldn't call Cody about anything personal," end quote. I understand your position to be that when considered in context of Cody's testimony would provide a inference for the jury to draw, or would provide a basis for the jury to draw an inference regarding the content of the conversation with Cody that has been excluded. Am I with you so far?
Yes, except that we actually would start with, you gave him a sandwich.
Yeah, sorry, that is something your client talked about later in the string, so that we got to keep that context in there.
Just a minute. It's just
the giving of the sandwich has not been excluded. That's actually hotly in dispute. It's something the state is seeking to prove. The thing that I've excluded is some content of what Eric told Cody, because there is not an applicable hearsay exception for some of that content.
We're going to jump ahead.
First, please.
Yes.
Context.
Search.
Your Honor, may the court publish.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you're about to see a text exchange between Ms. Richins in the blue bubbles, Ms. Barney in the green bubbles. You may consider Ms. Richins' statements in the blue bubbles for any purpose. You may not consider Ms. Barney's statements in the green bubbles for their truth. Rather, you may only consider them for the effect they had upon Ms. Richins as the listener of the messages.
I mean, honestly, Kouri Richins seems to have been a disaster for everybody she encountered. She's like some sort of disaster. Like she's like a whirlwind of shit in people's lives. You would rather invite like an incontinent Wolverine into your house than Kouri Richins. And like an incontinent Wolverine that's been consuming nothing but hot sauce. All right, let's jump past this to some of the phone call.
You okay?
I'm good.
Talk to you. Well, no, I want to talk to you when you're free, not when you're at work.
Oh, I got 30 minutes for the next flight.
Okay. I gotta talk to you. I gotta get shit off my chest.
Okay.
You okay?
I'm good.
So, you know that I'm obviously.
And before we do that, I missed something while I was looking at things. I got to do this. B is for Bob. Agreed. To the extent I'm not Elon, I'm happy to support you to eventually support those who need it. I'm trying to do more and more pro bono work. I have some things I'm working on that I can't announce yet. But when I can, I'll let you know. But things are maneuvering. So
In a lawsuit with the Richins.
You are?
Yes.
Did I know that?
I just want to tell you what's going on. But I also.
So you might be saying, why is this recorded? Well, Kouri and this witness are in a three-way call where they've called Bryce, who is Eric's friend, and they want to talk to him. She is recording this because she thinks this is going to be helpful to her in some fashion. And so the way she's recording this is she appears to have one phone on speakerphone and the other phone is video recording the first phone. Because she thinks this makes sense. Oh, they're at Kouri's house on speakerphone. Okay. Regardless, there's three people in this conversation, and it's idiotic.
I want to back up a couple steps, and I want to tell you that I understand that your loyalty is 100% to the Richins. Like you've known them longer, and I get that, and that's fine. And I just, if our friendship ends here, I get that too. And I mean, I get it, Bryce. Like I just get it, and it sucks, but it is what it is. And I just want to get everything out on the table right now so that, but basically, you know about Eric's trust. It's no surprise.
Yeah.
Bryce, I don't care about money. It's not.
Oh my God. I don't care about money, notwithstanding the fact that money drives literally every single thing she does in her life. Like when she's sitting there and like when she takes a shit, she's thinking about money, right? And like, is it possible that I could monetize this somehow? And I guess she probably could have. She probably would be doing better right now if that's what she'd monetized. But yeah.
Not a big fucking deal to me. All the money, Eric has almost, $3 million in life insurance money. I want it all to go into the trust to my kids. I don't want any of it, Bryce. Like, I don't care about money.
Sure.
This house is my house.
I don't care about money, but I do really care about making sure I get the money, right? Like, the house is money. So yeah, the video, I can't read the transcript on mine either. So, yeah, let's see if we can clear that up. All right, there we go. I was like, I can't read it on mine either. YouTube put me down to 144. So,
Bryce.
Right.
But I mean, when I make money, like I work hard for my money, Bryce. Like I do. I don't make Eric money. I have put $80,000 towards our mortgage in the last year. I paid $60,000 in cash of my money towards that pool. Like, this is my house, and I'm gonna fight for it. I just want you to know. And whether I have to fight the girls about it, I'm gonna. They can have half of C&E. They can have all the life insurance money. They can have anything they want. Take it.
I mean, she's not giving away anything. She's like, they can have all the things they already have. Kouri claimed that she took the money she fraudulently got from Eric's house and parlayed it into 11 million. She didn't, though. We already heard about from the forensic accountant. So
Take it, but they can't have my house, Bryce.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know everything, right? I know what Eric was doing for a long time, right? I mean, I don't judge you. Eric doesn't judge you. Eric doesn't judge me and the mistakes that I made, right?
I feel like Eric, if he is in a position to judge, is a little judgy at this point. So I feel like Eric is a wee bit judging here.
But
I know that.
Bryce, I mean, I'm just going to get up. Yeah, I took 200.
The girl speaking is not the girl on the stand. The girl speaking right now, the one you're hearing, is Kouri. That's Kouri Richins. We will hear the woman who's on the stand speak up, but she comes in later.
$50,000 off of our house.
Yeah.
Do you know how much in real estate we own today because I did that?
Yeah, she says he says Eric isn't judging me. And I'm like, or Eric isn't judging. And I'm like, I feel like Eric is. I feel like Eric is probably trying to haunt her ass. So, yeah.
$11 million worth of real estate. Do you know why I did that, Bryce? Because Eric would never let me work. Eric never trusted me in believing me. No, but I want you to know that. Would you do it? Would you take $250,000 to make $11 million?
Well, that's tricky, right? Like,
yeah, except we heard from the forensic accountant. What you did is you took $250,000 and you turned it into negative 1.5 million, not 11 million. Like you turned it into negative money. And I mean, it's not difficult to actually it is kind of difficult to get to 1.5 million in debt. I would have a very difficult time getting to 1.5 million in debt, because if I went into a bank and was like, hey, I would like to borrow 1.5 million because my aspiration is to be $1.5 million in debt, the bank would be like, hey, my aspiration is to throw your ass out of here. And one of us is going to get what we want.
Communication was the big thing for Eric, right?
He told me no, Bryce. I believed in myself. He told me no, but I knew I could do it because I know what I can do. Bryce, I wouldn't do something that I didn't know that I knew I could do. I'm not fucking stupid.
All signs point to yes, you are. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm just Okay. We good. We good. Let's keep going.
Bryce, I own 12 properties that are almost all paid off.
That was not true.
Yeah, including my own house that I've almost paid off. Like, I own multiple houses in Park City, in Mill Creek, in Saratoga Springs, in Heber, in Midway, all because I did that. And they all go to my kids. $11 million of real estate property because I took $250,000, Bryce.
Spoiler alert, they don't go to anybody. They go to banks.
He just never gave me a fucking chance. He never gave me a chance because he didn't believe in me. And he can say...
I mean, he didn't believe in you. Holy shit, was he right? Like, him not believing in Kouri Richins was the smartest. The only problem is that he believed in her a little bit too much because, like, he stayed with her. Because, yeah.
Whatever he wanted. He can say I stole from him. He can say whatever. But at the end of the day, that $250,000 price was paid off in 7 months and turned into $11 million in 2 years. And now somebody's going to come in and take my fucking house from me? It's not going to happen.
I didn't think they were going to.
I mean, if you've got $11 million, then let them take the house and buy some super mansion with like laser beams and a moat and a, disco bowling in the basement and, a rocket ship. Like, you don't have $11 million. That's why you need the house, because you're $1.5 million in debt. And if you don't have the house to live in, you're gonna live. I mean, here's the other thing. If Kouri Richins didn't kill Eric Richins, right? If Eric Richins just died from some, whatever, some random circumstance, the only thing that keeps Kouri Richins from being like homeless and living in is that Eric Richins was smart enough to put the house in a trust. Because if Kouri Richins isn't actually, if she actually, if she's acquitted of all of this shit, then the only house that the creditors can't take is the one that's in the trust, which saves her ass because, Eric Richins is a financial genius. Eric Richins is the smartest person in the room other than being with Kouri.
Take the house. They're taking the house.
Yes, they're taking my fucking house, Bryce. This is my goddamn house. This is my fucking house.
By the way, there is a manipulation tactic where you repeatedly say people's names to try to make them feel close. That is what she seems to be doing.
I thought the house was going to stay with you no matter what.
No. The house goes to the trust's name, which goes to Katie. She has the right to sell it. She has the right to remodel it. She has the right to do whatever. I have no rights to the house, so to speak, of the trust.
Eric he did everything for you and for those kids, right? And when all that shit went down between you and Eric over, the power of attorney and taking the money and whatever, that's what changed it for him, right? So he was like, right, I'm not here anymore. I need to make sure my kids are protected, right?
I get it.
And they're just protected.
I get it.
I mean, Katie's got the right to remodel the house. So, I mean, if Kouri Richins somehow skates on all the charges and is still going to live at this house, if I was Katie Richins right now, I would be going, okay, you get to live there with the kids. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to remodel by painting flames, and I'm going to hire a muralist to paint your bedroom like hell with Satan there pointing the finger at you. And that's going to be the theme for your bedroom. We're just going to paint it all like that, and you get to live there in the hell themed bedroom. Because I mean, I'm a petty bee, so
So I said I knew she was an ugly, right? And I'm neutral here. But if you can just take my word for it, I knew.
Bryce, I'm scared to take your word for it. I'm terrified to take your word.
No, I'm not on anybody's side. I'm more on your side than Katie and Amy's side, only because even though Eric and you were not getting along, I'm not going to get along. That's not part of being a marriage, right? But Eric would always say that you were his wife, you were the mother of his children, and he loved you, right?
Yeah, she recorded all sorts of things.
So he would do anything for you and those three boys. And I know he set things up with the lawyers and all that bullshit, right? And that was more for to protect his three kids. But I know if Eric was still here today, he would say, no bullshit. I need Kouri to be protected. But unfortunately, he didn't set it up that way. And honestly, I don't even know how he set it. I don't know.
So many mean things. So many mean things in it, and I don't care.
It shouldn't be.
Also, when Kouri is her voice keeps going up to this this octave that is just shy of levels that only dogs can hear. And we wish it was at levels that only dogs could hear, because unfortunately we have to hear it. If we could turn it up, just the pitch just a little bit up, then it would be then it'd be perfect, because then we wouldn't have to.
That way.
Sorry, Potter.
Shouldn't do that.
And they can have the money, Bryce. I can make more money. I can take care of my kids. I just want my house. I just want my house and my stuff in my house that me and Eric bought. I just want my house. They can have all the money. They can have all the money.
Did you tell him that?
I can't talk to him. I tried to tell him that, Bryce.
Hey, Bryce. This is Chelsea. Okay. So Kouri has told them, or they're going through like attorney to.
She's really something, right? Oh. So now Chelsea starts to step in here, and thankfully, because we can't hear much more of Kouri.
Attorney. It's never been like face to face.
Yeah.
Do you want me to tell them?
Yeah, just
Okay,
tell
so Kouri has told them that they can take all the life insurance, whatever they have in their name, what Eric left to them, but Kouri just wants her house, which is like a $3 million to $7 million difference.
You know how much I was yelling when I was watching this? Because here's Chelsea, who is coming over, who is in Kouri's corner, right? She is just sitting there. She is like ride or die team Kouri. And like she is, when everybody else has abandoned Kouri because of, all of the allegations and so forth, Chelsea's there. Chelsea's the one sitting there drying her tears. Chelsea's the one helping her through these difficult conversations. Chelsea was stepping up at every stage of the game, and she couldn't even feel the knife in her back. Because this whole time, Kouri's stabbing her in the back, right? She couldn't even tell how badly she was getting fucked over. And yeah, she hadn't lost the house yet. She was just I feel bad for Chelsea. I feel bad for everyone around Kouri because they had Kouri. And the thing is all of the people who knew Kouri and who trusted Kouri are going to live the rest of their lives thinking that Kouri Richins is the worst thing to ever happen to them. Everyone that Kouri ever claimed to love, everyone that ever claimed to love Kouri, is going to spend the rest of their lives saying the worst thing to happen to them was Kouri Richins. Like, it's straight up that. And, can you imagine just how shitty that would be if you had any inkling, like any little, any spark of a soul, as much soul as like a lit fart in a dark room? Yeah.
Well, they won't agree to anything until they get the autopsy because they think that Kouri had a part in Eric's death. As in Amy and Katie. They probably not Katie as much as Amy. They think that Kouri has a part in Eric's death.
A little far-fetched. I don't think Kouri's going to do that, but
What?
I think that's a little far-fetched. I don't think Kouri's
I
going to
know.
Well, I mean, that's kind of where we're at now. And she just got this call yesterday. And I'm up here just because she asked me to come up because she's kind of broken right now. And she's an.
All right. So, yeah, this continues for a while. Yeah, jumping ahead here.
Reference or two by Ms. Richins in this recording to charges, quote unquote. Those references are to separate civil litigation regarding the trust, the civil lawsuit. They are not references to criminal charges of any kind. Moreover, you cannot consider those references to civil litigation to prove a character trait of the defendant or to show that she acted in a manner consistent with that trait at any time. Just wanted to make sure you had that important clarification. Ms. Lewis, anything further on that?
Not for now, thank you.
Mr. Blow?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Lewis, may we continue the recording?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Scott, go ahead, sir.
Theft of conversion of some bullshit I don't even know how to pronounce, like all this shit. And I'm like, Jesus, I haven't been in trouble since I was in high school when I was 16 years old, for hell's sakes. I'm 32. Like, what do you mean I'm in trouble? Like, I didn't fucking do anything. You know, like,
I agree.
I don't know. Anyway, I meant to call you yesterday. I talked to the medical examiner. I called them because I don't believe that they don't have anything. I just am having a hard time believing that.
Yeah, what's taking so long?
Well, she said that, you know, she's like, well, I'll have the actual doctor call you who did his autopsy. And I was like, okay, whatever. And so her name is Pamela Ulmer. And she called me a couple hours later. And I was like, look, lady, like, you gotta have something for me. Like, there's no way you didn't notice something obvious. Like, Jesus Christ, 12 weeks, you know? And she was just like, well, yeah, there was something obvious, you know, we noticed, but, you know, we're not going to call you and tell you that immediately. And I was like, well, what, you know? So they ruled out an aneurysm automatically. She's like, it wasn't, yeah. She's like, it wasn't an aneurysm. I can tell you that. And she goes, he did test positive twice for COVID. And I was like, yeah, bullshit. No. Which we did have COVID a month and a half ago. Like, we all tested positive, but that was like a month and a half ago. Like, he didn't still have fucking COVID.
Yeah, that was fucking, everybody had it
Yeah,
in January.
like we didn't still have COVID. And she was like, well, his lungs, he had a fungal infection in his lungs. Like, they were completely covered in white spots. She's like, and I don't know what it was. She's like, so I cut 3 of them out and sent them in for biopsies. She's like, but they were so full of fluid and blood. She's like, I have no idea yet what it is. She's like, so I'm thinking between the COVID and the fungal infection that it shut his lungs down. And I was like, no, like that, he is the healthiest guy. That guy is a fucking mountain goat. Like, he could, like, I was like, we just ran a half a marathon 6 months ago and Eric didn't even train for it. And I did. And he beat me by 40 minutes. Like, no, there's nothing wrong with his lungs. Like, no, I don't believe that. And she got bitchy with me. And she's like, well, what do you mean no? And I was like, no, it's not COVID in his lungs. Like,
I bet Kouri would really like it if it had been found to be COVID. Yeah.
There's just not. There's no way. And I was like, and no offense, like, my husband would roll over in his grave and haunt you and everybody involved if you put him down as COVID. We are very against COVID and vaccines. Like, no.
The jury is sitting, like, I'm just sitting here going, okay, I bet you wish it was down as COVID right now. She's like, I will haunt you. And the other weird, like, she's like, no, his lungs are fine. And it's like, but they weren't fine. They were covered, like, yeah.
Not happening. Like,
if it was COVID, there would have been signs of him.
Well, that's what I said.
Able to breathe and shit, right? Like,
yes, he wasn't sick. I was like, he was just at soccer the night before. I was like, he was at soccer the night before. He was running around. Like, he was totally fucking healthy. He wasn't sick. He was not sick. No, I don't buy that. Like, no. I was like, I will call you back in 2 weeks, because she said that she sent all of his organs out for testing, a toxicology report, blood, everything. And that's why it's going to take so long. And I was like, okay, well, I'll call you back in 2 weeks when you have more results, because that is not what it is. Like, there's no way. There's no fucking way.
Dude, the people who have died of COVID had symptoms before. Like,
yes, they were overweight.
All right. So there's the whole COVID thing. Is anyone pro COVID? I mean,
trying to stay neutral.
Yeah, and
it
from what
sucks.
I heard from Katie, Katie's like, I'm just trying to. She's like, I don't want Kouri and myself to go south, right? for those three boys. Katie and I don't have a relationship, right? So we don't ever talk.
I mean, all she has to do is just, Bryce, give me my house. Like, I don't make Eric money, but I make okay money. Like, just give me my house. They can have everything.
Wait, you don't make Eric money? I thought you said you turned 250,000 into 11 million in like, 2 years. That's way better than Eric money. Like that's so much better than Eric money. According to you, you're punking Eric on the money. I mean, you know how many millions I've made? I have 0 millions. No millions whatsoever.
This Bryce, this is my home. I got married here.
Absolutely.
This is my baby. I brought my babies here. Like, this is my home. They can have everything they want, but give me my house, for God's sake. Like, Jesus.
I mean, she is gonna get a house out of all of this. She's gonna get free room and board. She's gonna be put up in some very expensive accommodation. She will have some roommates, unfortunately. But she's gonna get a property out of all of this to stay at. She's not gonna own it, but yeah.
What do they want? What does Katie want to do with it? Does she want to sell it?
No, I don't know. They just want it. They want the title in the trust's name, so I can't have control over it. And they won't figure anything out with it until they have the autopsy report. And when they said that, it broke me. Like, I said, what does that mean?
Thinking that you had something to do with it.
Yeah, and I broke.
I feel bad for this witness because they're getting this recording in through this witness, which means she's got to sit up here and reminisce about this freaking phone call and how much of a sap she was here. And like, that's got to be rough. Like, you can see it's hitting her.
I lost it. And I asked my attorneys, I said, I don't understand. What does that mean? And he was like, they think you had something to do with Eric's death. And I said, what the fuck does that mean? Jesus Christ. And he was like, they think that, and they reiterated it. And I was like, oh my God, what? And they're like, they're going with that, Kouri. They're on that level. And Bryce, I lost it. Fucking lost it. I was like, you think I killed my fucking husband for Jesus Christ's sake?
No, I've not heard that from any of those two. And I've ignored how I thought that myself, right?
Why? Like, what?
Yeah, I would never. I mean, Kouri, we can all do a lot of things, and you are not capable of doing
No shit. There's no way.
If you were gonna do it, you would have shot him in his head.
Like 2 years ago.
Right?
Like 2 years ago.
Like years ago.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't even know what that means. I was like, well, what do you mean? How does that even fucking happen? Like, what? Like, I gave him too much water? Like, I don't even know. Like, I drowned it. I don't know what that, like, what?
Yeah.
And my attorney was like, well, that's kind of a silly thing to say. I was like, well, I don't fucking know what you mean right now. Like, I don't know. And he was like, Kouri, you need to lay low in your house for the next 3 months and not go anywhere. And I was like, are you serious?
That's wild.
And he's like, no, that's what they're attacking you with. And I was like, oh my God. And yeah, so, and then, yeah, that was the other thing is like, I fell, right? I fell to the floor.
They're not only coming after her with that, but they're coming after her with being a mother.
I didn't ask Bryce to write a letter. Bryce, I asked everybody else to write a letter from that night because Amy said I was an incapable mom and that I was so drunk that night. She had to care for.
That bang is probably a child just, smashing something. It's like, maybe pay attention to the kid too.
My kids. And I couldn't care for my own kids. I love to drink. You know that, right? Like everybody knows it. I love to drink. I have never been in a position ever that I could not take care of my own children, ever. Like, and remember Amy took video? She showed her attorney those videos and said, look, Kouri's partying all night. She's not a grieving wife. She's not a capable mother. She showed those videos to their attorney, Bryce. Like, and showed my fucking attorney. Like, I'm a good mom, Bryce. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like,
I mean,
so she showed them with your pants off, Bryce.
Also, you didn't have any pants on, Bryce. You didn't have any pants on.
I feel like I need an audio clip for the "you didn't have any pants on," right? Because yeah.
Well, anybody who knows our relationship, my pants are never on.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, we were just it was just a celebration of life. Like, it was like,
I agree.
why did you do that? Why did you do that?
I can't speak for those two girls. I don't know. I don't know what makes them think, right? You know, they lose their brother, but at the same time, do you really want to lose?
I lost my husband. I lost my kids' dad. My babies lost their dad, Bryce. Jesus fucking hell. And you're going to submit videos and say that I'm an incompetent mom? Like, what? It's not fair. It's just, and I said, you guys can have money. Have all the money you had. I don't care. Just leave me alone, you know? Just fucking leave me alone. It's not.
Hopefully when that autopsy chick comes back, they can stop being thinking. It rules out that there's no foul play.
But that's the thing. Like, it's so hurtful. It's so hurtful that there's a decision regarding the autopsy.
That they wouldn't even think that.
You know, it's like you're wanting an autopsy to make decisions. So like what? Like
well, what do you know who I am?
I mean, it's just like
I just don't get it. You know, I just don't get it.
Well, they're going down a slippery slope, right? Because I mean, you are the mother of those three kids, and if they want to have any relationship with you and those three kids, this is not how you start on the relationship.
no, and well, she's crying right now. What? You what? Hold on, Bryce. What?
Can you come look at my photo? Yeah, then I can want to come and ask you.
Okay, like 2 minutes. Okay. Okay, great. Go on for 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
And the crying stops as soon as she needs to talk to someone else.
Okay, go lay on the couch then. I don't know what you're saying. Go lay on the couch. Okay, go downstairs. 2 minutes. Fuck, I don't know, Bryce. Like, it's just like kind of crazy.
Yeah. It sucks. It has to be this way.
I mean, it's kind of like neither of them, like not even, like I'm not even just speaking for Kouri, but like Katie and Amy cannot grieve for anything because all three of them are concentrated on fighting against what Eric has.
And they can have it. They can have it. Just fucking take it. Leave me alone.
All right, that's enough of that. We're going to move to the last witness here because I don't think I could take any more of that noise.
I talk to her pretty frequently.
Are you one of her best friends?
Yes. Yeah. I was, yeah.
You were?
I was, I
Yes.
am.
Either way.
Yes.
Okay. Ma'am, do you recognize that as the form that you and Kouri Richins filled out during the retreat?
Well, I never read it at the retreat, but that's the Sedona Manga logo, yes.
And is that Kouri Richins' handwriting?
Yes, to my knowledge.
Your Honor, the state moves to admit Exhibit 2-4 and publish.
Your Honor, we renew our prior objections, 401, 402, and 403. I'm not sure that there's enough foundation at this point to put it in through this witness. She said she never saw it at the time, and I don't know if there's enough foundation about the handwriting at this point.
The 401, 402, 403 issues have been ruled on by the court. The court stands on its prior denial of those objections. Mr. Bloodworth, talk to me about foundation.
Your Honor, maybe I'll just or
please
question a little bit.
Yeah.
Over the years, have you read Kouri Richins' handwriting?
Yes and no. I'm mainly through text, but yes.
Are you generally familiar though with her handwriting script-wise?
Not comfortably enough to identify it, no.
She's like, no, I don't see people's handwriting. It's 2026. We don't handwrite to each other.
But it looks like her handwriting, yes.
And is that, Scott, can you go to the top? That logo at the top, is that consistent with the form that each of you individually filled out while at the Sedona Mago Retreat Center?
Yes.
Your Honor, the state moves 2-4 into evidence.
Your Honor, we object. She said she's not comfortable enough to identify her handwriting, and she never saw Kouri write this or saw it at the time it was done.
Counsel, would you approach for a second?
Whoop. Ah! And then I hit the wrong button and it vanishes. I've lost my spot here. All right, where do they come back? Come on.
Your Honor, I just think under Rule 106, for completeness sake, if we're going to put this in, let's just put in the whole letter.
I'm not aware of what's under the redaction, so would the two of you approach for a second? Let's just make sure I'm.
Or the whole story.
Okay. Mr. Bloodworth, forgive me, how much time do you need to come up with an unredacted version?
We have it.
Okay. Scott, would you, the screens are muted. Would you show it to me for a moment, please? One moment.
Your Honor, we'll put a sticker on it later, but
Okay.
that's it.
Okay. The number of this again, one more time, 2-4.
Yes, sir.
The unredacted version of 2-4, anything further, Ms. Lewis,
No, Your Honor.
is admitted. Published now?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
All right, we don't need to read this, but what I will say is legal tip. Don't go to those Sedona retreat, like those hippy dippy retreats. Because all they have you doing is generating stuff that might be evidence in court later. And this is not the walk the dog letter. This is the my life is sad letter. So, yeah. All right, we're going to jump through this because, oh my God.
Town, so we don't have to bring her back.
Sounds good.
All right.
I appreciate it. Please proceed.
Good afternoon. Huh? Who knows anymore? How are you today?
I've been better.
I'm sure you have.
Allie, would you do me a favor? I'm sincere. You can sit wherever you like. Just
Where do you
pull
want
the
it?
mic closer. Yeah, there you go. Thank you.
Ellie, my name's Wendy Lewis. I know we've spoken, but we haven't met before, so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So I want to talk about, you knew Kouri, you said, since junior high.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. And did you do things with her as and Eric as couples or with also your children as families?
Both. We did things with our families as well.
All right. And did you go on a trip to Hawaii together?
I did.
And when was that trip to Hawaii?
I think it was early 2018.
Early 2018?
Yeah. February, I think.
Okay. And what was the purpose of that trip?
Our friend was getting married.
Which friend was that?
Selma.
Selma. Okay. And did something happen on that trip that Kouri was upset about?
Could you clarify?
Did something happen in terms of the travel to Hawaii?
Yes.
And what was that?
Kouri found out that Eric had hidden
drugs in her suitcase without telling her.
Okay. And what was it that he put in the suitcase?
Gummies.
And was she upset about that?
Yes. Yes, we were laughing. Yeah. She wasn't crying upset. It was more or less a funny story, but not so funny.
Not so funny story. Mm-hmm. And I mean, is it fair to say she was not happy?
No, she was not okay with it.
Okay. And what was Eric Richins' reaction? You don't have to get into what he said, but how did he react to Kouri not being happy with him?
He thought it was hilarious.
He thought it was hilarious that he'd put.
Yes, his thinking was
THC in her bag.
Yes.
Okay, no, I just clarifying. You're fine.
Mm.
Okay. Now, you said that you were visiting, and you're from California, right?
Yeah. Yes,
you're living in California now.
Yes.
To be more accurate. And you were visiting here about a month, a little less than a month, 3 weeks before Eric died, correct? Or is that right?
Yes.
All right. And during that trip, you just talked about some things that happened during that trip when you were staying with the Richins. Did you take THC gummies with them at that time?
Not on that trip, I didn't.
Not on that trip?
I don't believe so, no. No, Eric didn't want me to.
Why didn't Eric want you to? Do you know why?
Yes, he said that he...
Objection, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you, without...
Sustained regarding calling for hearsay. Can you rephrase, Ms.
Yes. All right. So you discussed taking gummies.
We did.
All right. And there was a concern about taking them. Is that fair?
Yes.
And why was there a concern about taking those?
Objection, Your Honor.
Sustained. We maybe just ask her why she didn't do something or what her concerns were.
All right. Why did you decide not to take the gummies?
I was told they were bad gummies, that they made Kouri super sick.
Okay. Are you aware where those gummies came from?
No, I wasn't aware.
All right. You had taken gummies, THC gummies, with the Richins in the past.
Yes.
And where originally, you don't have to tell me who, but where were those gummies purchased from?
Well, I was never with him when he got them, but I knew it was from a...
Objection, Your Honor.
Foundation? Okay.
All right.
Sustained.
You had taken gummies with the Richins in the past.
Yes.
And so had some of your other friends. It was something that you all did occasionally, just like having a drink. Fair?
Fair.
All right. And you are... So what the defense is saying is Eric does like gummies, and Eric buys gummies from suspicious-ass sources. And therefore, Eric could have bought a gummy that is super suspicious and could have killed him. That's where the defense is going here. And you can see her reaction to this. She finds this to be super credible. Are you aware of, well, let me rephrase that. Were you all getting these gummies from the same source originally?
Objection, Your Honor.
Pause for one moment. I need a reason.
Foundation.
Okay. Would you please lay some foundation for whether and to what extent this witness knows about the source of anything that she took?
Again, you were all getting gummies from the same source, right?
Objection, Your Honor, leading.
Yeah, I need you to lay some foundation, not
I'm
just
working
ask
on
the
it.
same question. Just break it down.
So she said, I'm going to examine this witness as in direct rather than as a cross because I need to get outside the scope of the prosecution's direct. And so I need to do this as a direct examination so that we don't have to call this witness back again. She cannot direct at all. And this is, defense lawyers direct way less than prosecutors, right? It's just a thing. But she is really struggling.
Do you know where you and your friends were getting the THC gummies from?
It's a yes or no question.
Yes, you are aware. Okay. And for a time period, you were getting them from one particular person. Isn't that right?
Yes.
Okay. And what was the time period that you were getting them from that person?
What do you mean?
Was it from 2018 to 2021? Can you give me a general time for how long of a time?
Would you pause there for one moment? Your objection, Mr. Bloodworth.
Your Honor, objection, foundation, particularly as it relates to whether or not hearsay is the foundation.
Right. Ms. Lewis, my apologies. Would you approach for 1 second? a little bit more specific.
How were you aware where the gummies were coming from?
That's the same question.
Yeah, I know.
The witness just objected to her.
You were there when the gummies were purchased or brought or delivered? You were never there?
No.
All right. Did you ever purchase them yourself?
No.
So can you tell me how you knew? Let me just come out. So did someone tell you where the gummies were coming from, or did you have personal knowledge of where the gummies were coming from?
I was told where they were coming from.
All right. Okay. How was it that you found out that Mr. Richins had died?
Our friend Kelsey called me.
Called you?
Yes, I was called on the phone.
Yes. And was that the day that Mr. Richins passed away?
Yes.
All right. And what did you do when you found out?
I cried.
And then what did you do?
And then booked a flight and came the very next day.
All right. So you arrived?
I arrived on the 5th.
On the 5th. All right. And how did Kouri seem when you arrived?
Distraught. She was breathing.
She wasn't partying, right? Yeah. These defense attorneys are on the Tyler Robinson case. I mean, Tyler Robinson's fucked.
And you've known Kouri a long time?
Yeah.
And you've observed her on other occasions where she's been upset?
Yes.
Ever anything this traumatic, or is this the first time?
This is probably the most traumatic one I've experienced so far, yes.
All right. Did anything about her behavior or her reaction strike you as unusual?
No.
Were you there when there was a celebration of life held at the Richins house the night after he died?
Yes.
And how many people were there at that event?
Oh, I couldn't tell you. It was a lot of people.
More than 10?
There were people coming in and out the whole time.
All right. Was this something that was planned, like a planned event?
No.
So it was, can you describe sort of how it started?
People came to show their condolences and grieved at the loss of losing Eric. That's how it began. That's all it was.
All right. And was there alcohol?
Yes.
What else took place at the event? What were people doing? They were drinking?
We were playing with the kids and talking about memories of Eric.
And apparently taking pants off. I'm just going to say I've been to a few funerals. I have had the misfortune of having friends pass and so forth. And I mean, some of them have been somber events, and some of them have been the sort of events where you, crack open drinks and talk about the deceased and just have have kind of a party to remember them. All of them have had people wearing pants. Like, everybody's been maybe not everyone's wearing pants. Some people were wearing dresses. Some people were wearing skirts. But, like, clothes, right? So, I don't know. Maybe I should put in my will that, that I want, like, it's like, do I want a pants on or pants off wake? Okay. I got to figure that out for part of my estate planning here.
All right. Dancing, talking about him, remembering him.
Okay. Would you describe it as an upbeat, happy event?
It was kind of, I don't know. It wasn't a party, if that's what you were trying to ask.
Okay. What would you describe it as?
Remembering his life.
All right. Can you pull up Defense Exhibit 1089, just for the witness? Do you recognize that photo?
Yes, I took the picture.
All right. And was that taken the night that we were talking about?
Yes.
And do you recognize the people in that photo?
I do.
All right. Can we publish, or can I admit and then publish?
And I was sitting there going, please let this not be a picture of no pants. Please let this not be a picture of no pants. Please let this not be a picture of no pants. Yeah.
10-8, defense 10-8.
Oh, and I just saw a message in the backlog from Chris Kouri saying, I have news. My daughter got her LSAT score back. It was 164. We are all very happy. She's excited. She gets to go to law school now. That is a great score. 164 is excellent. So yeah, fantastic. That is really, really fantastic.
89.
Noted.
Okay, defense 1089 is admitted.
Okay, and maybe if you want to step down for a minute, if you could tell us who the people are.
I'd rather not.
If you would just stay close to a mic,
I know,
and
I just
then
realized I didn't have one on.
here you go. You use that when you. Ms. Listen, you should get in your mic.
Just from left to right, can you tell us who's in the photo?
That's Kouri. I can't remember his name, but that's Eric's best friend.
Can you maybe put the mic up?
That's Eric's best friend. I can't remember his name.
Is that Bryce?
Yeah, that's Bryce. Sorry.
Okay.
That's Bryce. That's Allie, Cody's wife. That's Chelsea, and that's Amy,
Amy
Eric's sister.
Richins. Okay, you can sit back down. We can take that down. So how long did you stay after Eric passed away?
I stayed overnight that night.
Were you there the next day when Amy Richins came to the house?
Yes, I was.
All right. And were you there when Kouri was trying to get into a safe that belonged to Eric?
I was.
Stupid YouTube. Come on.
She wanted to see what his will said.
And did she know the will was in the safe, or do you not know?
No, she knew it was in there.
All right. And then what happened?
What do you mean? What happened?
Well, was she able to get into the safe?
She was not. She didn't know the code.
And then was there a conversation about her not getting into the safe?
Objection, foundation as it relates to hearsay.
All right. Who was present when she was trying to get into the safe?
She wasn't even in there at first.
When you say she, who are you talking about?
Kouri wasn't even in there. It was
Who was in there at first?
her brother and the locksmith.
Okay. So a locksmith was called to try and open the safe.
Yes.
All right. And then what happened after that, Kouri?
Amy and Bryce were leaving, and Amy saw the logo on the side of the truck and ran into the garage to stop Kouri from getting into the safe.
Do you know why she was trying to stop Kouri from getting into the safe?
Because Amy was.
Foundation.
Yeah, it's speculation.
Well, if she knows why.
But how she knows is the genesis of the foundation.
Here's the thing. This is a preview for Lewis sucking at all sorts of things. Because here's the problem that's going to happen is that we've heard at several points. We've got the camera on her, but we've also got this angry dude here. I don't know who he is, but we've got, there's several witnesses that the prosecution called that the defense only was able to like cross-examine a little bit of, and then later had to they're going to have to call them in the defense case. And we're seeing just how bad Lewis is at direct examination. And so when they call those witnesses back to testify, and those are going to be difficult witnesses because those are witnesses who do not like the defense. This bodes very poorly.
Objection.
You were there, correct?
I was.
And you saw the reactions of everyone in the room.
I did.
And you saw Kouri become very upset. Did you see Kouri become very upset?
I did.
Do you know why Kouri was upset?
Yeah, because she was told that it was not
Objection.
If you stop there, calls for hearsay.
So we've got, I'm guessing that's Amy. We've got Angry Dude. We've got Gwyneth Paltrow in the back. I don't know. Okay.
You did see Kouri.
I mean, I have a safe that my wife doesn't know the combination to, but it's a gun safe. So, yeah, and it's for the business. So, yeah.
Kouri's reaction, I did, to not being able to get into the safe. Let me rephrase that. You saw Kouri's reaction based on what was going on regarding the safe.
I did.
And you saw her, well, tell me, what was her reaction?
Pure frustration and rage.
Rage?
Yeah.
Was she crying?
Yes. She was shaking.
And in your opinion, was that reaction over the top?
No, I thought she was valid.
Did you think she was unreasonably out of control?
No.
Was that reaction unexpected, given what was going on in the room?
No.
Okay. Just one moment. Or if I just have a moment.
Of course.
Sandwich. Eric said, what did Eric say to you again about the sandwich?
Can you clarify the question, please?
Yes, you were talking about when Eric got sick from a sandwich, right? You talked about that with Mr. Bloodworth.
I did.
And he told you, what did he tell you?
That he believed that Kouri had tried to poison him.
Okay. Did he tell you, I believe Kouri tried to poison me, or did he say to you, did Kouri tell you she tried to poison me?
No. No, he said, he said Kouri tried to poison him.
All right, and who was there? Kouri was there?
Yes.
And what was her response to that?
She was laughing and she said that's not what happened.
And what did happen?
I don't know what happened.
Well,
he took a bite of the sandwich and got an allergic reaction and had to shoot himself with an EpiPen.
Okay, so they talked about that there was an allergic reaction.
Yes.
Was everyone laughing?
Yes, we were all laughing and we jokingly said, don't eat what Kouri feeds you.
Okay. And did Eric
Ha 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 ha! Everyone's joking about how Kouri's a poisoner. Ah, ha, ha, what a good joke. Yeah. Is that because Mrs. Runkle legally cannot know under Canadian law? Yes. That is why she doesn't have the combination to one of the safes. Mrs. Runkle can have access to some of my firearms, but not others because of the way Canadian law goes. So
you're upset about what had happened prior with the sandwich?
No.
Did he seem scared about what had taken place?
No.
How are he and Kouri getting along when you were there that last visit?
They seemed better than I'd seen them in a long time.
Okay. And with that, I have nothing further.
Okay. Mr. Bloodworth, any additional questions for Ms. Staken?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
She wanted to go so bad. She wanted to be gone, so gone. And when he's like, "Yes, I do have some more questions," she's like, "Damn it." And the thing is, I get it. I feel for that. So, yeah.
Ma'am, let me make sure I understand the travel to Hawaii. Am I right that it was funny at the time because Kouri did not get caught with the gummies in her luggage, but it would have been less than funny if she had got caught? Is that the joke?
Speculation.
Overruled.
Could you ask that again?
You said there were Eric and you and Kouri and everybody were joking about Eric putting weed gummies in Kouri Richins' luggage. Is that correct?
Yes.
Is the joke that it was funny because she didn't get caught?
No, it was funny because she didn't know.
I see. Okay. Can we turn to the gathering on March the 5th, 2022, right? The day after Eric Richins' death?
Okay.
And you and others, many friends of Eric, some of Eric's family members, I think were there, right?
Yes.
And people were drinking and toasting Eric.
Yes.
People were also using weed gummies that night too, as well.
I don't know. Not that I'm aware of.
That photo you showed, or you looked at, it was labeled Exhibit 1089. That was at the beginning of the evening?
No, that was towards the end. Well, it was I don't know. It was mid-evening.
Okay, there came a time, right, when Mr. Knudsen removed his pants?
Sorry, who?
Do you know who Bryce Knudsen is? the
I
guy
know
in that photo?
Bryce. I don't know his last name.
Okay, did there come a time when he removed his pants at that celebration?
Not that I remember, but probably.
Okay, do you remember if the photo was before or after that?
Wait, not that she remembers, but probably? Were there a lot of pants getting taken off at this event? Like, what kind of party was this? I don't get invited to these kinds of parties, and that's okay. Like, I've never been to the kind of party where people are taking pants off at a funeral. Like,
it was before he was dressed.
Scott, can I get Exhibit 8-8, please?
The witness can see it.
Ma'am, do you recognize that photo or that video rather as an accurate depiction of what was occurring in parts of that evening?
Yes.
Your Honor, the state's going to move 8-8 into evidence, but ask the court not to publish it. What the state's going to do is prepare a vision of that blurs out the face of any children, and then publish that to the jury at a different time.
wait. There's a photo of him with no pants and kids in the frame. Is this like low rent Epstein or like what's going on here? Yeah.
Ms. Lewis?
No objection.
Okay. The forthcoming version of 8-8 that blurs out any minor children is admitted. We'll publish it later.
Thank you, sir. Scott, can you bring up 8-8 Delta 2, please?
Are you able to see it? Mm-hmm. Okay. Is this supposed to be moving, Scott?
Your Honor, it's not. It is a still frame from that video. The state moves 8-8 D2 into evidence.
Ms. Lewis?
No objection.
Okay. 8-8 D2. You're going to mark this later with a sticker?
I am, Your Honor.
Okay. Is admitted. Would you like to publish?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
The reason why they're putting this out, to the jury is to be like, look how sad she is about Eric Richins dying. Right. My face is in the wrong spot. We're gonna go here. So like here's Kouri with a grin, and there's somebody shotgunning a beer. I'm gonna say if Mrs. Runkle passed, I would not be any of that. Is it supposed to be moving? No, that's what the judge just asked. It's a still frame.
Thank you. Your Honor, maybe we approach to have a common understanding on something.
Sure.
Oh yeah, that is just how that works. Come on. We're
Mr.
almost.
Bloodworth, any other questions for this witness?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Ms. Lewis?
Yes. Just going back to the night of the wake.
Mhm.
And have you been to wakes before? Or
Yes.
was that your first one?
No, I've been to wakes before.
And was anything about this unusual to you?
No.
This is how you've seen people at other wakes right after a loved one had died. Fair?
Yeah.
Was
Yes.
Kouri happy that night?
No, we were trying to be happy for the kids. We were trying to stay positive and keep it light
Okay. So
for her kids.
And that's fair. And you said you spent the night at the house.
I did.
Who else spent the night at the house that night? Do you know?
Yes, Amy did, and so did Bryce, and I believe Chelsea did as well.
Okay, so just the four of you. Other adults went home. Then the kids were there.
Yes,
All
and
right.
the kids were there.
Do you recall that Kouri left that event early to go to bed with one or more of the children?
No, I don't recall.
You don't recall that?
No.
Okay. All right. I have nothing further.
No, Your Honor.
Counsel, may we release this witness?
Yes, we may.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. I appreciate your patience. Thank you for your time.
Now, I seem to recall I don't have a note, but I seem to recall there was something
Should we
that
talk about
happens
scheduling
after
or-
this.
Yes, sir. Let's talk scheduling.
Yeah, I think a brief scheduling discussion would be appropriate. Ms. Nestor, do you mind?
Yes, sir.
It's to begin the next witness and then have to take a break. We'll just start with that next witness on Monday morning.
All right. So what we're going to hear next is that tomorrow is expected to be EDB's best, or not EDB. Somebody in chat brought up EDB, so my brain is sidelining. It's going to be Lewis's best ever day of trial. And this is why.
Scheduling reminder, no trial tomorrow.
Everyone is like, Monday. I'm like, guys, I know. I was making a funny. I was making a joke. The EDB was not a shot at EDB. It was because somebody in chat said it, and my brain sidelined. Let's also go to something I missed, which I wanted to cover, and then I skipped over it for some reason, which is mostly because I'm dumb. Let's go back to it. And it is here. All right, here we go.
Intended. The case.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about this moment. This is a lighthearted moment, so it's a good thing to wrap up on.
We're back on the record. Please proceed.
Your Honor, citing the case of Take C v. Baxi, I omitted an email in direct that I had intended to introduce.
Okay.
Can I pick up there and then tender
Of course.
or redirect?
No problem. Is Ms. Lewis familiar with the email? If there's going to be an objection, I can
I'm
rule
not.
on.
I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know the case that he cited.
No, that was a joke. That's okay.
Oh, is that a joke? Okay, well, that's why I didn't know it.
It's all right.
Was that a joke? I didn't I don't know it, she says in like this angry tone. You might have missed the case he cited.
Please proceed.
Your Honor, citing the case of Take C v. Baxi.
The case of Take C v. Baxi. He's cracking funny. The thing is, what he's saying is, I released this witness. I handed it over to the defense. The defense hasn't begun. I forgot to get this letter in. I'd like to get the letter in. Can I do it now? And he's like citing the case of Take C v. Baxi. He's saying, I'm taking it back. Can I take it back? And she's like, I don't know what this case is. Like, I don't. It's a good funny. And she does not clue in.
Please proceed. I'm sorry. We're back on the record. Please proceed.
Your Honor, citing the case of Take C v. Baxi, I omitted an email in direct that I had intended to introduce.
Okay,
Can I pick up there and then tender
of course.
or redirect?
No problem. Is Ms. Lewis familiar with the email? If there's going to be an objection, I can
I'm
rule
not,
on.
I don't know what he's talking
It's-
about. I don't know the case that he cited. that
No,
was in
that was a
Geneva.
joke. That's okay.
Oh, was that a joke? Okay, well, that's why I didn't know it.
It's all right.
All right, so there is so much to watch in this little bit here. So we're gonna watch this a few times just because I watched this several times, and I found there was a lot hilarious. So first thing we're gonna watch is, I forget her name, the female lawyer that is to the left of Bloodworth, the one who is the prosecutor, but I forget her name. I'm bad with names. Watch her face this playthrough.
Please proceed.
Your Honor, citing the case of Take C v. Baxi, I omitted an email in direct that I had intended to introduce.
Okay,
Can I pick up there and then tender
of course.
or redirect?
No problem. Is Ms. Lewis?
She gets it. She's laughing. She's having a good time with that. She's like, this is the funniest shit ever.
Familiar with the email? If there's going to be an objection, I can rule on.
I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know the case that he cited. That
No,
was in
that was a
Geneva.
joke. That's okay.
Oh, was that a joke? Okay, well, that's why I didn't know it.
It's all right. The email is exhibit with.
To that.
You see Scott sort of goes like this and sort of does a face palm. The other thing I just want you to know, now we're going to watch it again and look at the defense table. Look at the defense table's responses.
We're back on the record. Please proceed.
Your Honor, citing the case of Take C v. Baxi, I omitted an email in direct that I had intended to introduce.
Okay,
Can I pick up there and then tender
of course.
or
She leans over and she's like, do you know Take CV Baxi? To her other, to her co-counsel. And her co-counsel shakes her head. Nope.
redirect?
No problem. Is Ms. Lewis familiar with the email? If there's going to be an objection, I can rule on.
I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know the case that he cited. That
No,
was in
that was a
Geneva.
joke. That's okay.
Oh, was that a joke? Okay, well, that's why I didn't know it.
It's all right. The email is exhibit with.
To that.
So you have Scott's reaction. And then let's watch the actual thing here.
-123 Delta. Scott, can you bring that up?
This is a text message exchange.
Text message.
Okay.
Is that it? Can I see the whole thing?
Yes. In fact, Miss Barney, if you want to watch it now, that'll speed things along.
So they're deciding, and then they're going to object on the basis of, well, he closed his case, so he doesn't get to get it in. Oh my God, no. Most of us are far cringier. They're like, you might as well object.
And reopen, I object. Mr. Butler tendered the witness, and to go back now and reopen, I object.
Okay, any objection to the admissibility of this document under the rules of evidence?
No.
Okay. It's certainly within the court's discretion to allow direct to be reopened, to add one exhibit, particularly before cross has even begun. So anything further, Mr. Bloodworth?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Lewis, anything before we bring the jury in?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Tracy, if you would get the jury.
So the thing is the the objection there is that he'd passed the witness, right? The thing is that he'd passed the witness, but the defense had asked precisely 0 questions at this point, right? At this point, he's had 0, there. So it's not like he passed the witness and then the defense started building their cross-examination strategy on this missing document and so forth. And so they just, it's in the judge's discretion. I don't think the judge was unreasonable. I think that was entirely reasonable. You see the defense gives up on the objection very quickly. They're like, okay, fair enough. I wouldn't have fought it, honestly. I would have just said, hey, clearly, we haven't asked any questions yet, right? It would be a very petty judge to be, it'd be a very petty judge to be like, nope, it's closed. Nothing to be done here. So that was today. Now, I saw, we're going to cover super chats, but I also saw a regular chat that I want to highlight. Reminder, we have not heard the defense case at all yet. At this point in the Karen Reed trial, there were lots of people who thought Reed was guilty. Yes and no. The Reed trial was doing a lot better on cross-examinations than the defense is here. But it is important to note we haven't heard the defense call any evidence yet. We have not heard that at all. And so it could be that the defense has all sorts of like rock solid shit to start, bringing to this case. We haven't seen it yet, but it's coming. They will get to call evidence, and we know they're going to be calling at least some evidence because the way Utah seems to run its courts is that you can only cross-examine within the scope of the direct. So for anything else, they need to call those witnesses as witnesses. So we know the defense is calling some witnesses. We know that from what we've seen. What we don't know is if they've got any witnesses that we haven't seen before. They might have experts. They might have these, and the other thing is they might have Kouri Richins testify. She might get up on the stand and be like, I loved him so much. I didn't poison him. I don't know how he died. This is such a tragedy. And, also I deserve the house. Could happen. I would not want to call Kouri Richins if I was the defense, but it's not the defense's call at the end of the day. You know who gets to decide if Kouri Richins testifies? Kouri Richins. She does. And if there's one thing about Kouri Richins, she does not make good life choices. Like, that's it. Miss Beautiful, okay, sorry, I'm out. A father is dead. Please bring back sensitivity to our world. So sad there's laughter and jokes. Prayers, nobody here loses a loved one to this sort of tragedy. Sorry, but, we joke about things. It's part of how we deal with it. But, I would not encourage the family to watch this, watch any of the trial coverage on any of the commentators, because we're commenting on the legal whatever. This is not a morning stream. not intended to be for that. So, yeah. And quite frankly, when I die, I don't expect everybody to stop laughing. Please laugh, and please, laugh along with, because, I want people to laugh, and just have fun, right? So, I hope at my funeral there is at least some laughter. It just is. Like, that's how it goes. If I knew I had, if I knew I had like a cancer or something, I would try to make a video to try to make the people at my funeral laugh. And, that is, yeah. So, that's the thing. All right. Yeah. Laugh with pants on. The laughter feels a little harsher if people don't have pants on when they're laughing, because then it might be that people think the laughing is at the lack of pants. So, yeah. All right. Let's look at super chats here. Against the Tide says, please like to help Ian reach his pro bono goals. Thank you, Tide. ASG says, am I the only one who feels like we have a whole lot of motive and a whole lot of she's a jerk, but not much in the way of tangible evidence that she did this? I'm not sure I'm beyond a reasonable doubt. That's a reasonable position to take. I would say that the tangible evidence is, did she procure fentanyl just in advance of this? I think that her efforts to procure fentanyl as well as her motive could be sufficient, right, to establish and her post-offense conduct. But, she goes and tries to get fentanyl. There's no other explanation for how the fentanyl gets into him. Her behavior at the time of, I don't think it's unreasonable there. The children aren't laughing. Please don't forget that. I'm not, but the children also should not be watching this, right? And this is a channel for adults. It's not for the kids. I don't expect they're ever going to watch this. I don't think that's, and it's not a good idea for them to do so. But at the end of the day, we're off doing our own thing. So I get it. And we're not laughing at him. We're not laughing that it's funny he's dead or anything like that. We're laughing at things in the, the trial here. So we read that one. Wendy Wilkins says drink away. We got one here. Rex Pearl, cheers, Runkle. Thanks for your works. Thank you. Law-abiding rebel. They both say friend to each other. They've probably done that for years. I find it weird, but other people in the chat didn't. So maybe I'm wrong on that. Purple Pixie Dust, enjoy your drink. Thanks for covering this trial. I look forward to your recaps. Thank you for being here. So thank you. Really bothers me that all Kouri's top have pleated necks just at me. I don't know why, but it just irks me. I didn't notice that. So Kouri knew her friend had money and swindled her. Just low down. Absolutely. Absolutely. That is, Kouri is, from what we've heard, one of the biggest pieces of shit that has ever fallen out of one of the lowest animals. So, yeah. Music to my soul. Runkle, did you cover the Faust verdict or did I miss it? I think I did. I was interested in your reaction. I was shocked by the verdict. I don't see the evidence. I was surprised by the verdict too. It was a bit of a stunner to me. Kimchi, the forensic homeopath. Why was the swindling the bestie allowed to come in? Feels super prejudicial. Plus reminds me of Murdaugh. Convict Kouri Richins because she's a cold-blooded snake. This one is debatable. I might not have let it in if I was the judge, but the judge did let it in. And it does go to motive in the sense of showing just how bad she's in the hole, right? It shows just how financially desperate she was. And yeah. Jiggle hugs. The word that comes to mind to me is devastated. Yeah. Kouri was a walking Ponzi scheme. She was, and she was taking in everybody she could. The KKF 1015, since Kouri was part of a trust, could her former friends sue the trust to regain any of the money she put towards that house? No. I don't think that there's any cause of action as against the trust. I might be wrong about that, but I don't see the path. It's not the area of law I do, so I can't say for certain, but I just can't see a path to it. So yep. Mary Matilda May, you don't rant, you enthusiastically educate. Thank you. M40A5, Grossman is right about the oath. It's BS. The court won't let people tell the whole truth. Also, the secular version is more in line with Christianity than the religious version. One of the reasons why Canada allows you to affirm instead of swearing is actually because there are some religious groups who do not swear on the Bible. They won't swear on the Bible. They say, like, look, this is against our religion to use God as an oath. And one of the interesting things about that is that one of the things that was actually kind of an interesting historical thing in Canada, once upon a time in Canada, it used to be against the law for the accused to testify at their own trial. The accused was not allowed to testify. And the reason why, this is kind of a fun one, the reason why the accused was not allowed to testify is because it's an oath to God, and they assumed that a guilty person would lie in court to save themselves from punishment. And so they said it would be immoral to allow the accused to testify because they may well lie, and by doing so, they would, they would doom themselves to hell. And so you couldn't allow the accused to testify because it was worse that they might lie in court than that they might get sentenced or whatever else, including to death. So yeah. So, they would be like, all right, this guy's going to get sentenced to, for a murder and convicted and executed, but we don't want to let them testify because they might lie under oath. That is no longer the rule in Canada. That has been thrown out. But yeah. Shanta says Ian's laugh is contagious and spot on. Thank you so much. Tough Cookie says, thank you for 10 gifted memberships. B is for Bob. Thank you for 10 gifted memberships. Meme Empress, if I stop appearing in chat, assume Kouri's stupidity got me. Just don't drink any mules, okay? Meme Empress, Kouri's a moron. I want to ascend. Rapture me now. Law-abiding rebel, she's the worst. You are not wrong. Shanta says, if I was on the jury, I would think direct is reaching thus far because of all the times the judge has had to step in to help them. The jury's sitting there thinking, this has got to be some kind of moron, right? Random unbreaded commenter says, I don't know who's listening to more, Nestor or Elaine. Yeah. Christy Calamas, thank you for signing up. Welcome aboard. ASG, had a meeting with my teacher where I left this running in the background muted, and I passed another test writing live for her. I've officially moved up another speed bracket in jury charge. That is amazing, ASG. That is awesome. Motion for merch citing takesies versus backsies. I got to get on the merch. Random unbreaded commenter, this airport does not announce your departure. Fair. But if people have, criticisms, that's fine. So how do you keep the government's hand out of your pocket? Remove the insides of the pockets and the hands won't be there for long. Fair. Jessica Miller, I'm not convinced of her guilt at this point. She did awful financial stuff, but that doesn't make her an unaliver to me. That's fair. And that's reasonable. Weird Debbie M. Thank you, Ian. Thank you as well. So thank you guys all for watching. I won't see you tomorrow unless Rob is streaming. Maybe I'll do like something casually or something tomorrow night, but maybe I'll try to get into the leatherwork thing or whatever else. But otherwise, see you Monday. Good night, all.